We're live in 5.
I don't want to be live.
We're live already. Hi.
Sent.
Hi.
So I can't say the F word?
I would prefer you didn't.
Oh, dude, they photoshopped that picture.
Did
The
they?
white A? Yeah. I just found the video of him getting out of the car, and there's no white A on his shirt.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It's not there.
Hi. Oh, God,
So
that
they
is
photoshopped
loud.
it. Those dogs, dude. Those sneaky little dogs.
Dirty dog.
Who photoshopped it?
Probably Ally or Hendrick or
Ally.
because he
Yeah.
gets out of the car and his back's just purple. There's no A on the back of his fire suit.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this, he's like new profile pic.
Oh, shopped it.
Yeah, they shoot.
They shopped it?
They shooped it. Yeah.
Why is this so loud? It's my headphones.
Yeah,
Is
there
this
was-
loud
like I
to
said, there
people
was when you
listening?
Look at it, you can see the shadow.
Just
of
the
where
adhesive.
Yeah, the adhesive.
Yeah, the
Suarez
adhesive.
started peeling it a couple weeks ago.
I-
and I was
when
like,
you
we got
s-
it all.
When you said that, I wasn't sure what you meant, and then someone tweeted it last night, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, because even his Nashville video.
Oh, I don't like that.
What?
The image overlay.
Oh, his Nashville, he had a different fire suit.
Yeah.
He had the fade one.
Can you uppy?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I got to kill the stream for a
Wait,
second.
what don't you like?
If you look at it on YouTube, it's got the overlay that I put on YouTube
Hold, please.
as well as the one from Streamlabs. See? It's got both.
Icky.
It's double dogging it, dude.
Icky.
I wonder if I
What
can.
happens if you go full screen?
Uh,
See, it's weird on mobile. I don't have that.
that's the clickable link.
I'd leave it.
Yeah, just leave it.
On full screen, it's not.
I
an
can
issue.
move it. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't have it on him now.
What about the loosest fast? Can you just put it right in the center? The big one?
Yeah, I can on Streamlab.
It's not on mobile.
Okay, maybe it's just desktop. It's the subscribe button.
I'll leave it there so people subscribe because we are one away from 100.
Hey, look at that.
What state are we in? Rhode Island.
Yeah, Rhode Island, pal. I don't know if I like that, though, because you can't, like, the car you put there kind of.
Then get Darrell Waltrip the fudge out of there,
Well,
dude.
he put him there. My diecast is really dusty. Wow, that bothers me. Yeah, sure, it hides me more. That's fine.
Yeah. The one time Dan is even semi in the shot and the logo covers him.
Go, like, try top corner.
Yeah, above either one of our heads. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it.
It's perfect.
Put it in the extra seat next to you.
That's kind of where it was.
Where it was. Hello there.
And I'm so sorry.
What about top left?
Yeah, that works.
It kind of looks weird with the TV.
Everything looks weird.
I like the bottom center, but then we got DW right there, dude. We can't get rid of him.
Put DW in the middle of the table.
He is in the middle of the table.
No, he's not. Middle. Not middle end. Move your hat.
Take off your hat.
Take off the hat.
Yeah, move your hat and those goddamn headphones.
Jesus Christ.
Stop yelling at me.
Move that coaster. What's that doing up there?
Technical difficulties.
Oh, you putting baby on a pedestal, dude?
Oh, putting baby on a pedestal.
What do you think?
There you go. That's better. That's ish.
You can move DW down now.
Is it 6,000 degrees in here, or is it just me?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll roll with that.
We'll do it live.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Oh.
It's not bad in here.
I have a skosh of a sunburn, so
Go outside.
true. It is a lot worse outside.
The weather hurts me.
Why do I live in a place where the air hurts my face? A meme that can be used in the winter and in the summer.
Right? Alrighty.
Dan, why do you have a sunburn? What were you doing this weekend?
Nothing.
Dude, you'll never believe what I almost did yesterday.
What was his name?
Golfing.
What?
It's a weird name.
My friends were pushing me, and if it wasn't going to be 100 degrees, I
It
was
was
going
too
to go.
hot. It was too hot this weekend.
They had a 9:45 tee time at
That's not bad.
Amherst Country
Yeah, we
Club,
play Amherst all the time.
and my buddy Matt was going to bail.
We
So, like,
can't
Norm,
turn it because Dan just leans too far back.
We could turn it technically, but
They're like, Norm, come play with us.
Kyle's
It'll
like
be fun."
afraid to turn it.
I'm not touching it.
I'll do it, but then Joe will meme me. So
I did not golf. I was gonna golf if it wasn't 100 degrees out, even at 9:45 a.m.
Okay. I am good.
I don't know if you're good.
I just got to decide on my race pick.
I also need more volume.
You need more?
Yeah, uppies.
Uppies?
Uppies.
I can't
Uppy.
believe we
Good.
let
Good.
goddamn Dan win a fucking race pick.
I don't know. Have we hit that time limit yet where we can swear? I think we've been going for like 10 minutes. So I
We've
feel like
already
it's
been
gotta-
swearing.
It's live.
No, we've been good.
We
you swore.
did it live.
True.
Oh,
YouTube's not watching us, dude. They don't care.
I don't know who I want for mine either.
I know who I'm taking.
Do I want the young lad
How about we get
or
there?
the slightly older version of the same young lad?
Do you want the old bull or the young calf?
Ew.
Who should I pick for race picks?
You can't do a fan vote, dude.
Yeah, what are you, Bianchi?
Yeah, not like I'm going to listen to anybody. But
Hey,
it's
are
worth
you
a shot.
up? Are you up to date on your highlighted who we've picked?
Who's Mr. Electric
I believe so.
Triangle? Is that a new guy?
Uh,
Show yourself.
Yeah, it seems like you're up to date.
That's
I
a new
believe so.
name.
I can't choose Chastain. I already picked him.
Wow, I am like scraping the bottom of the barrel. Actually, no, you're not up to date because I haven't picked him yet, have I?
Who?
Nobody.
Byron.
Nope. I knew that. Yeah.
Do you have DH?
I'm
still? There's no way
between-
you
I mean,
still
I'll
have
just
DH.
I don't
No,
have
you
DH.
won with
I've
DH.
picked DH
I'm
twice.
between Gibbs and Byron.
I picked DH twice because he I had picked him for the All-Star race.
Yes, everyone has used Chastain.
Don't say it too loud. Joe will appear. If you say it 3 times, he shows up wherever you are.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, that means
Ross
you
Chastain,
guys,
Ross Chastain,
you
Ross
guys all
Chastain.
love him.
No, I just wanted to curse him.
I did.
Yeah, you did. Dude, that picture of, look at my pick. Firewall deep in the tires. That was
Like,
awesome.
oh, look, my pick. As he's driving under a tire barrier.
Oh.
Yeah, who is Mr. Electric Triangle? That's a new name.
I keep thinking it's Carteropoli, but
Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh, wrong board.
I like that button, though.
I love that button.
Yeah, I saw the color was
SHR after Chicago.
yeah. After Barry was firewall deep 15 times. All right. You guys ready?
Do you want to start the show there?
You want to do that?
Nope.
Yeah, might as well.
No, I told
I
you.
think
One of
we'll
these
just hang
times,
out.
we're just going to do a 3-hour live stream of us doing nothing, not record anything, and then leave. If you want the episode, go to YouTube.
Go to YouTube. All right. I gotta reorganize my.
Yeah, Mr. Electric Triangle. We noticed you. There's 4 of you guys. You stuck out.
Yeah, there's like 4 people in
Oh,
here. and it's
5.
a name. No, Brett, we've started here, but we haven't started the actual episode yet. You in your upside down land.
Yeah, it's what, 3 a.m. over there right now?
All right, cool. You guys ready?
No, Tyler, no, it gets worse from here.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here. Cool.
Do we want brewskis, or are we trying to save the
I'm saving.
tank?
I'm saving.
I had enough this weekend.
Same.
I think I need to recover a little bit. It is
10:30 a.m. on Tuesday.
Bro, it is lunchtime for me.
Podcast time travel. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another episode of the Loose is Fast podcast, your podcast home for all things NASCAR and some things not. I am Kyle Belcher and joined, as always, by Mr. Daniel Walker
It gonna rain.
and Norman Pelletier.
Oh, brother.
This guy stinks.
On today's episode, we will talk some recent NASCAR news, recap the weekend on the streets of Chicago, answer some questions, have some fun. But before we do that, Dan, pay the bills.
We are brought to you this week and every other week by the Revival Motoring Network, the Revival Motoring Podcast.
Sobriety stream. Yeah, it won't be a lot of that this weekend.
That's why we're doing it now. We're doing it now.
We're doing it. Get it out of the
Get
way.
it out of the way with now.
Hydrate early.
We're also brought to you by revivalmotoring.com/B4B. Norm, what does B4B stand for?
Hold on. Oh, I waited too long. Box it up, boys. I was trying to get an AI thing to say it, and I couldn't get the website to load fast enough.
That's something you got to plan ahead for, Chief.
Yeah, I don't know how to. There's no text box.
Oh. Bucks for the boys. That is our value for value PBS style system where we will always be free. But if you love us, you will help us keep the lights on, keep the video cameras rolling for some reason, keep the board running, keep this show afloat.
It's too late, Norm.
Yeah, Norm. It's
Stop
over.
trying to make fetch happen.
You blew it.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Stop trying to make a reference from 2000 and never it'll happen.
Norm is falling apart already today.
We're not going to make it through the week. Yes, revivalmotoring.com/B4B. There you can sign up for a monthly recurring donation of $2, $5, $10, or $20, or a combination of those to make a number. If you don't want to do 5, you can do 4. That works.
Yeah, big Josh Berry guy.
Big Josh Berry guy. Oh, man, I got the burps today. McDonald's shouldn't have done that. Yes, and if you do that, that helps us keep everything. That helps Josh from Revival Motoring, the podcast daddy, if you will, plan everything with merch and keeping this studio afloat and everything else. Once a month, you will be.
Bucks for the boys.
Norm!
I like this guy better.
I hate you.
Bucks for the boys.
All right, that's enough.
Usually it's Kyle throwing me off, and now you're just. Yes, once a month, though, if you are a B4B subscriber, you will be entered to win stuff from Revival Motoring. They did a drawing, I think, last week. They got those sick TD's manufacturing leather goods that they...
Now online.
You got one more shot. Cutting you off.
One opportunity.
Carry on.
I hate you so much. I'm going to make you have mom's spaghetti all over this table.
Nah, dude, your arms are too weak.
Oh, true.
Knees are heavy. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Bucks
so
for the boys.
what are those new TD's things? The key fob or key chain things?
Yeah, those are sick.
They're actually pretty sick. They were talking about it. I listened to last week's episode today. Apparently the leather that he used, as you like touch it and it touches things, like the leather wears and reveals like this cooler material underneath it. It actually sounds really cool. So yeah, you'll be entered once a month. They give that away to B4B subscribers. And then I know sometimes they'll just randomly send stuff out like sticker packs and stuff like that. So not only will you be helping us, but you have the chance to get some free crap, which is awesome. If you want to do a one-time donation, you can use PayPal. That is info@revivalmotoring.com. That is also the home of Kyle's Race Day Challenge.
Oh, that's me.
Kyle, that's you.
Hi.
What's that?
Race Day Challenge is if you donate the dollar amount that matches the driver's number that you believe will win on Sunday and guess correctly, I will send you a little gift box of stuff.
How did Ross Chastain do this week?
Poorly.
Good.
Yep.
You're not getting a box.
No box for you.
Get no box and you'll like it.
No boxes. I don't think anyone donated $48, so I think we're okay.
We're safe this week.
Probably safe.
Probably safe.
I'd say there was probably one or two safe $5 bets there. That
Probably. 16,
got
16 would have been a
yucked
good
into
bet.
the turn 6 wall.
Yeah,
so.
16 would have been a
Yucked
good bet
himself
until
in there.
Chase Briscoe got a hold of it. Other ways you can help out, leave us reviews on Apple Podcasts. We, once again, don't have any. The last one we got was June 11th. Y'all are slacking. Go, if you haven't left an Apple Podcast review yet that we can read, go do that because it's fun.
Please.
Please. Also leave Spotify reviews, 5 stars only. All the other buttons are broken for some odd reason. Really weird. We've tried to figure it out. We contacted Spotify, and they just said, you guys are that good. Only the 5-star works.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. Tried to leave a 4, wouldn't let me. He was like, nah, that's not real.
Yep, we're at 142. Don't mind the fact that that's a 4.9, but whatever. That's besides the point. That is pretty much the ways you can help us out when we share the images for the show tomorrow or today when you're listening to this. Share them. Share around. If we can get one of your friends roped into this absolute shit show that we call a podcast, then that's a success. So do that.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, apparently Brent donated 16 because it cost him $26.
Nice.
Damn that exchange rate.
Damn it. Cool. Well, thank you very much for that, Dan. We greatly appreciate it. Sorry,
No, you
I was
don't.
slightly
Yeah,
distracted
you've
by
been distracted the whole time.
old man Tom just sent me a whole bunch of pictures of the Cabrio he's parting out, and I need all of the interior.
Yeah, he sent me a message the other day apologizing for all the crap he's given me for my Cabrio because he bought one for his daughter and he was driving it around. He's like, dude, this thing rules. I was like, I know.
Does it have a black interior?
No, it's the same interior as mine, but my door cards are all floppy and gross.
Because he's getting rid of one. He just bought a red 3.5 for his daughter. He stole that thing. It's in like mint shape.
Yeah, it is. So this is awesome because the butt of the back seat of my Cabrio is split.
Yep.
This one is fine, just needs a little bath, and the door cards are all floppy in mine, and these ones are not. So this is perfect. Thank you, Tom. Anyway, cool. Thank you, Tim. Callbacks, as we always do. We got 2 callbacks for this one, actually, because the TV ratings for Chicago Street have already come out, which is awesome. But before we get to that one, we got Nashville. Nashville got 3.24 million viewers on NBC, up slightly from 3.21 last year. So, yeah, pretty solid. We'll take that.
And way up from Loudon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Loudon was USA versus NBC.
NBC
so
helps.
1.88 to 3.24, so strong one. And also, the street race got 3.87 million viewers compared to last year was about 4.8, but
Red flag,
red
rain,
flags and things
mess.
and stuff. But Sunday's viewership was still 35% higher than average NASCAR race on NBC last year. So strong.
That's big.
That's good.
That's good. It's
We'll take it. Always second year of kind of the unique races sometimes can be difficult.
Yeah.
Like Bristol Dirt,
The Clash.
plummeted.
The Clash.
The Clash dropped quite a bit. Weather affected as everything is apparently
Well,
now.
no, The
but-
Clash was the second year.
Yeah.
Everything
Well,
dropped.
this year
I mean,
also
the
weather
attendance-
affected.
The attendance the last 2 years have been trash.
Yeah. Yep. So that is that for callbacks. Do you gentlemen have any other callbacks on the normal front before we get into race picks?
I don't think so.
Keep digging. All right, race picks. As we do every week, we will call it back to our picks for Chicago Street. I chose SVG, who finished dead last, which is wonderful. Dan chose Michael McDowell, and Norm chose Mr. Ross Chastain. Dan takes home his 4th point of the season,
Up to 4.
ending a 7 race
I counted
winless
last
streak.
night. I counted last night because NASCAR posted that thing about all the winless streaks that have been broken this year, and I was like, yeah, me 7.
Yeah.
McDowell came from fucking nowhere because they pitted early in the race.
He was
and
off
they were
sequence
in
the entire
the
race.
30s the
Yeah.
entire race.
He was off sequence the entire. I didn't even know I won because we were listening to the end of the race on the radio last night. I had MRN on the way home from the lake, and the race finished, and service was in and out, so I kind of missed if they ran down the lineup, and then somebody in Discord was like, "Dan won," and I looked up, I was like, "Holy crap, he finished 5th! Like, where'd that come from?"
Yeah. Good day. Good day. So that brings our score to 13 points for me, 11 points for Norm, and Dan, big Josh Berry guy, 4 points.
4 points.
Proud of you. Proud of you.
There'll be another 7 weeks before I get one.
So we now have to pick
5's
for
looking good for you,
our
though.
upcoming weekend at Pocono.
Pickings are getting fucking slim.
I got 2 really good options.
I got a couple left over, but I'm like, eh.
I'm between 2. I'm between Gibbs and Byron. Neither of you have Gibbs left.
Yep. I got Byron left, but I'm not picking him, so he's all
All right, so what do you guys think?
I think you should make your own fucking choice.
Yeah, I think you should be an adult.
Okay. That's
Fine,
nice.
you know who I think you should pick? Zane Smith.
Great pick. Great pick.
Honestly, if I'm going on past history, the Toyotas are fucking lights out here.
I know it's pretty even cut between the two. I just don't want to. I don't want to physically be there and have to cheer on Gibbs cars.
Oh, good point.
That's my only problem.
Good point.
Chevys are there, really good there too. Hendrick's done well there.
Yeah, but it has Byron. Like Larson's usually really good there.
No, Byron's actually.
Bowman won. Yeah.
Give me Gibbs.
I'm so happy I have to watch you cheer him on all day on Sunday.
Fine. Give me Gibbs.
Who's Dan cheering
Lock
for?
it in.
You're up next. I won.
Oh, I'm up next.
This is weird, isn't it?
I'm cheering for Kyle Larson.
Oh, now you're going to use it.
He's been
That's who
saving
I'm
him.
motherfucking
He's been
cheering
saving
for.
him.
I'm glad I picked Gibbs because if I picked Byron and wasted it and you picked Larson, I'd be pissed.
Well, Larson will be the best pick ever until turn 1 on the last lap,
True.
Probably, yeah.
and then he'll end up wrecked.
Yeah, but it's the different generation car. It's not going to happen.
Last year, Denny put him in the wall. Turn 1.
Yeah. Dennis
Oh, I was
Stove
thinking
him.
of when the tire blew.
No, that was turn 2.
That was turn 3.
Well, he blew it.
I think it was
2
4.
down.
He blew it
two and
between
three,
2
yeah.
and 3, and then hit the wall in 3, and then that's when we all fell off my camper.
No, he hit it in 4.
Kyle.
Dan, who do you want?
Oh, I am between.
Dan's taking M80.
Nope. I'm so happy we don't have to be subjected to M80 this year.
I'm going.
You're going all the way up to the fan zone at noon on Sunday.
Nope.
Exactly. You're not going to M80. Oh, I am between
Betwixt.
2 previous winners at this racetrack. Although one of them was in a mud. Actually, they were both in different cars, but one of them has downgraded.
So
quite a
Kyle
bit.
Busch.
Yeah. I'm between him and Blaney.
Between who?
Bush and Blaney.
Well, let's just look at the rest of the year. If I was you, complete honesty, I would save Blaney for probably Richmond.
He's so mad because you didn't help him.
I'm battling you for the points
He's got a point
championship.
there. Yeah.
Dan,
That's fair.
I
We
need-
both
if
helped Dan over and
does
over again.
good,
I
you
need
don't.
crutches. I need
I'm
a-
okay with Dan winning because that means you don't.
Yeah, I need a wheelchair at this point.
I don't. Oh, dude,
All right, we're between Bush and Blaney.
That's my thought. I mean, I still have other.
I don't think Bush is a good pick at anything. Big.
That's what I'm worried about. Like, he's good at Pocono, but that car
You know what?
is just trash.
Take him. He got a top 10 this week.
And he won that without any gears
A
2
functioning
years ago.
transmission.
And I would save Blaney for a short
I w-
track. I think
I
that's
would.
where they're strong.
All right, I'm going Harrison. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, give me KB.
All right, cool. Now I can pick him at Richmond. All right.
I really don't care.
Pick who? Kyle Busch?
Busch.
Yeah, I did that at Richmond. And that did not go well for me.
Yeah, fingers crossed he rebounds. I mean, I might change it after next week because I still have a couple guys.
Is it bad that I didn't realize you had that list off to the side? I've just been,
Yeah.
I'm looking at people I still have. I'm like, I didn't know I still had him.
I got to look at that because mine's fuzzy.
Yeah,
I'll probably look at that before Richmond just to make sure that Kyle Busch isn't my only option for Richmond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a ton left.
I got a couple decent names, but it's getting slim.
Hell, Richmond, I could fucking just throw in the towel and just pick John Hunter just because he's in a Toyota.
Where did you pick John Hunter?
Me?
Could.
Yeah, you picked him for the 500.
Oh, Kyle did?
Yeah, Kyle picked him for the 500.
Have you picked him, Dan?
I have not.
Yeah, I threw it away. Cool. All right, that does it. So to recap for Pocono, who we will be cheering for, I am a big Ty Gibbs guy this upcoming weekend. Dan, big KFB guy. And Norm still is a Larson fan.
Dude, you want to know how
Lock it
fucking annoyed I was at Chicago that I was slightly rooting for SVG to have a bad day?
I wasn't. I didn't care if Kyle won because I wanted SVG
Oh,
to
dude,
win.
I wanted SVG to have a good day so bad, but I was like, Chastain was sitting around like 10th to 8th all day, and I was just like, if SVG has an issue, I have.
So it's
I have
Norm's
this.
fault.
No, it's Chase Briscoe's fault.
Norm's fault.
Norm's fault.
You,
Chase
you
Briscoe went
as
bowling in
Danica Patrick
Chicago.
would say, you manifested it happening.
Danica Patrick would say that man is not real.
Listen, that motherfucker back there is not real.
All right, so that does it for the race picks. And now we have to move into everyone's.
Least favorite part of the show.
That would be Norm's Scheme of the Week.
Oh, I forgot about this. I
Is there
don't.
any?
It was a
Oh, yeah,
ton.
that was a
What
shit
are you
ton, yeah.
talking about?
There's one or two.
What was that for?
What are you,
Kyle, pull him up.
high?
Maybe.
We're gonna.
Is there anything different?
I
Yeah,
forgot.
all
we're
of
gonna
them.
start off strong.
Peaches.
Strong car.
I'm excited to see that car because that car looks so good last year at Pocono. So
Yeah, strong.
I'm excited to see it in the fence
Contender.
and watch Joe's
Yeah.
face when it's in the fence.
Discount tire was the same.
Boring
Vinyl ethanol is the same.
building that
looked-
partied.
They ran that earlier this year. I like
Yeah.
that scheme.
Joe said, "Norm, I have more angles if you need them."
Yeah, I'd say so. Plastered on your ceiling. Kyle Larson's Valvoline scheme.
I love that.
I like it. It's not the best Valvoline
That
scheme.
was hot.
Yeah.
There's been so many good whoever their photographer is took all sorts of pictures like this, like through the fence and stuff. It looks
Oh,
really
they were
cool.
killer. Lajoie with the Celsius as always.
Hey, look, it was pointing forward in that picture. Oh,
That's
Kyle Busch
surprising.
is wrecking.
Foreshadowing for this weekend.
Chase Elliott in the unsponsored 9 car. Oh, wait, nope, that's Indy.
So good.
I love that 10 car.
It's so good.
Oh, it's just so free.
Did you see his post last night shaking hands with Turn 6?
yeah, that was good.
Danny
what a
Sport,
sick-
I love this.
What a sick angle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Like,
shot.
let me just
huh?
get run over real quick.
That's a I would love to go take pictures there. Oh,
Ooh, bad news,
Duh.
AJ.
dinger all stuffed
He's
in.
dinged. He's dinged. I hated this.
Stuart Haas came out hitting this week. I like
This
that.
looked like
Mahindra
Bowman's
tractor
scheme from
doing
like
tractor things.
last year, the year before, when they did a patriotic scheme. It
Yeah.
looked like it was made in MS Paint.
Yeah, it wasn't very good. 15 wasn't very good.
Wait, that had flake?
Oh,
That
a
had
lot
some
of it.
Bass
Yo, that
Pro
looks like the
flake,
Cabrio.
dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't notice it was flaky.
Oh yeah,
Is that BMP?
Is that is that Black Magic Pearl?
yeah.
Okay, that changes my opinion now that I know that that's Bass Boat. That
I
fucks.
fucking love that.
Such a good color. Oh, that car's so good. White
Yeah.
with the chrome blue.
Yep. 19. I liked this scheme, but goddamn, can you put more fucking stickers on?
Yeah, they really
Yeah.
went after it with that one.
Is this?
That's part
crooked.
of the scheme. That's like kids drawings.
Looks
or
like
something.
a QR code.
I think it is. Obviously, the 21 is always
Josh Berry.
same.
Yo, lift. Oh wow, lifting the inside front wheel. Go back up.
Bubba had like a fucking anime scheme.
I love how every
Yeah.
time they asked him about it, he's like, "I have no idea." Wait, I
Oh,
didn't. even,
that had chrome numbers. Gross.
I didn't even notice that car yesterday.
Yeah, it was,
That's better than last year's relay scheme, though.
circles
that was
the
a fan.
same.
33's hot.
Yeah, that 33 is good looking.
Drivers.
Yeah,
No idea it was there. Honestly, I really liked this scheme.
the skill logos over the
skill
headlights
kinda-
kind of threw me
yeah.
off, but the rest of it was really
Like, imagine
nice.
if it said white over the right front headlight and,
and socks over the
left front.
yeah.
Yeah,
41's good.
Good. Boring.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Love that scheme.
I like the Jordan scheme.
I just don't like the Jordan schemes.
See, I liked that it was the actual picture
Yeah,
of
like
Jordan.
I like the colors are sick. The skyline is sick. The red number looks kind of meh to me. Like a white number, I think would look better.
well, they're in Chicago,
But-
so
yeah,
but
but
they did
the
it.
Jordan logo, it just looks so poorly.
I
pasted
didn't
on
realize until they showed it on the broadcast yesterday though, that it's an actual picture of Jordan doing the Jordan
Yeah.
logo. Like, it's
there.
like
It's like the picture they pasted.
it's from like
off
the
of.
80s. Yeah, it's sick.
Somehow, it's toothpaste. 51, the Pinnacle logo's crooked or not crooked enough. 60s.
Build
good
Submarine's
scheme.
car works.
66. They
wasn't
did a
bad.
Better job wrapping it, but not the best job. Josh Balicki, though, 28th place finish. Good for him.
Oh, he did? Damn.
Yeah. 71, it's perfect. 77, it's perfect. 99, I like this.
That
scheme a
jockey,
lot.
they
Yeah,
never
I did
miss
too.
with the jockey cars. They really don't.
Uh,
All right, let's do a toss-up, boys. 16 or 17? I think it's got to go to Saucy Nugs.
I'm going Saucy Nugs. yeah,
I just that 17
A lot
is
of
so
people,
clean.
A lot of people were hating the 16 early on, but honestly, I think it's better than like the last 3 Wendy's.
So
schemes
there
we've
was
seen.
an original picture that came out where it didn't have
Dude, there's even flake in
Kyle
the orange.
like go up. Yeah, so the orange roof. I saw a render where it didn't have like the orange on the roof. It just was like the sauce coming down the sides, and I didn't like it. And then when I saw the actual car, I was like, oh, okay, that's way better. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'll give it
To the
Saucy-
car?
I'll give it Saucy Nugs.
see if there's any better pictures of it, or just there you go.
There you
So
go.
that was the second render that came out, and I was like, oh, that
Yeah,
parties.
look at the flake in that, dude.
I was like, that parties. But there was one that got posted to Paint Scheme Chat last week where it was mainly a black car that just said
Yeah, 'cause
Saucy
they-
Nugs on the side.
Oh.
I
I
was
think
like,
the first 23 pictures Joe posted were of like
hold on, I'm looking for it.
almost like a 3D render, but like a poor quality one. Those colors are almost perfect as it is.
Yeah, Kyle, this one.
There you go.
That. And I was
Oh yeah,
like,
see
it's
this?
boring.
Oh, that's because that video that was that, and then it loaded the sauce.
Oh,
there it is.
Ooh, okay.
So in the video, they show a black car and then the sauce drips over it.
Well, the average
So
Joe
that
posted a screenshot of it just black.
premature.
So, yeah.
Yep.
But I liked it a lot. I think Wendy's kind of fell off. They got too much into, and I hate real images on paint schemes.
Yeah.
Like I love cartoons, like Josh Berry's Tire Pros car, for example, that Taz one. All cartoons. I love that stuff, but they got too much into just actual pictures on race cars, which I'd never liked. I like
Yeah, I
more
get
like
that.
Bubba Wallace's McDonald's schemes, where it's like it's art made to look like French fries and stuff like that. It's not just pictures of French fries.
Yeah. No, I
The
agree.
saucy
with you.
nugs, there was actual pictures of nuggets, but it was so small in comparison to the scheme.
And it's
I
such
liked
a
the scheme.
simple thing, too.
Like Noah's Baconator car last year, I did not like.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
there was
feel
too
like
much
the,
real image.
the complex real images, I agree with you, like the burger, because it's multiple different things that are real images. With the nugs, it's just a nugget. So whether you cartoonized it
Yeah.
or had a real one, like it's not that far off.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I liked it. I also the Frosty scheme he ran in Cup with the blue flames on
Yes.
it. I thought kind of looked kind of weird, but also worked. But
Yeah,
there's
when it's
lot
a
of
simple
'cause
real
that
image.
that had a real fries and a real shake on the side, I think.
Yeah. Like
The saucy nug scheme, I just thought that orange was so hot.
I know. I didn't
Yeah.
know it had so much flake in it.
Hell
That's
yeah.
I
sick.
didn't realize that until that picture.
So
I
the
thought it was wet.
scheme of the week goes to the 16 saucy nugs of the one
Runner-up
SVG.
is definitely that 17 though, the all white with
Yeah,
the
with stars.
chromey kind of metallic stars, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Hot.
As we've said a million times before, white race cars are the best.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now we head into the Some Things Not segment of our show, in which we call Off Track. Norm, what do
Scheme
you
of the week.
got for the folks?
Pretty much just did like 4th of July barbecue stuff all weekend.
Yep.
I did not have a long weekend like you guys. Kyle's obviously been on vacation
Kyle had like
for
3
3
weeks.
months. Dan, I don't think worked at all last week.
I did. I worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Did you? All right.
I mean, when I say worked, it was our office looked at us, and we've actually confirmed this with multiple people today at work. Pretty much everybody got told to like go to their job and just make it last for 2 days. They're like, just hide there for
Yeah,
2
because
days.
I feel like it was like noon on Wednesday, and you're like watching Top Gun.
Yep.
Or watching the Patriot or something like
I
that.
was watching the IMAX NASCAR
yeah,
on
NASCAR
IMAX.
IMAX. And I was like, did you go to work at all today?
Yeah, I did.
But you work at like 5 a.m., so I mean, you could have done half days.
That was our thing. Is we got on Tuesday. We saw how much we had left to do for Wednesday, and we're like, if we leave now, then we actually have something to do for a couple hours tomorrow. So let's just leave now.
Yep. But I just did Thursday was just all family stuff. We went to my sister's for a little bit in the morning, hung out there, and then everyone kind of migrated to my parents' house. My brother-in-law brought over some mini bikes and 3-wheelers and stuff, so we just ripped those
Hell yeah.
all afternoon. Then we had a cornhole tournament where my sisters went out and bought the cheapest cornhole boards imaginable, like $50 like Target ones, or they got them at some Home
I'm looking
Sense.
forward to a heavy amount of cornhole playing
they
this
bought 'em at,
weekend.
like Home
Yep.
Sense. I was like, dude, Dad's a carpenter. Just get him fucking schematics, and he can make it with shit around the house.
yeah.
Like, why are you guys buying these cheap ass boards? And then they all wonder why I'm so good at it. Like, dude, I've been playing like yard games professionally for like 16 years. Like, that's all me and my friends used to do is just day drink and play yard games. And my parents are like, we just learned what cornhole is. How are you so good at this? Like, I've been playing since I was like 18.
I'm an alcoholic, Mom.
I partied. All right. I was cool. But worked Friday with like 3 other people.
Yeah,
in
you
the
said it was going to
company.
be probably pretty dead.
So I pretty much like did like my random walk around, checked all the machines in the morning that no one was going to use all day because no one was there, and then just did walk around, hang out, production type shit. And then Saturday went to a barbecue at my buddy's house, which used to be a rager. Now it's bring your kids and dogs, and so it's kind of an old people party at this point. But my friend has
We are getting old.
My friend has a 5-week-old golden retriever puppy.
Puppy.
Oh,
Then-
nice.
I was like, "Is Koba going?" He's like, "Yep." I'm like, "All right, I'll go."
I'll
And
come
I
hang out
just-
the dog.
I walked in. I walked right through the house. Like, oh, yeah, hi. Fuck your baby. Don't care about you. Walked in the backyard, locked eyes with this beautiful little pup. And I'm just like, I'm going to go sit down by that tree
You
with,
won't find me here for the rest of
with
the day.
Lil Koba. And if you guys need me or him, we'll be over here.
I've been taking my beers over there.
This dog, little fluff
Little
ball.
floof ball. Yeah.
Like literally like straight puppy hair.
Yep.
Feels like this dude was bacon. Like we had to keep bringing him inside. Just like we're afraid you're going to get hot because it's like he has puppy hair, which is like husky hair.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And it's just a fluff ball. I was like, when my mom got her golden, he was already like probably
8 to 20 weeks old. I have no idea how old dogs are, but he was
The
not
big range.
He was not full sized, but he wasn't a puppy.
Yeah.
He was like
Probably 6-7 months. Yeah.
he was still smaller than Rocco is, or not
True.
Rocco,
Frankie.
smaller than Frankie is, but he wasn't like
Franklin.
a puppy.
I'll fight you.
Mr. Beans to you.
Franks and beans.
He wasn't like a puppy, so like we never got like the puppy hair, just
Yeah,
fluff
yeah.
ball. But I hung out with him all day. My buddy's like, we play a little can jam. He's like, all right, anyone want to watch Koba while I play can jam? I was like,
Sold.
that'd be me. I was like,
I volunteer as tribute.
I just plopped down with him, dude. And like I just like sat on the ground. He like laid between my legs and was just like eating grass and shit. I was like, you're not my dog, but this is adorable.
Nice.
And we were all discussing how we were gonna steal him after that. But you
Yes.
guys want to hear a little story? So my dad.
Wait, you haven't been telling stories?
No, this is a new one. My dad, so I said my brother-in-law brings over like mini bikes and shit. And my dad likes to rebuild four-wheelers and do kind of restoration stuff. So he had a dirt bike back when he was a kid, when he was like 13, 14, that the company doesn't exist anymore. But it's the funniest fucking name you'll ever hear in your life.
Are we about to get canceled?
It's borderline cancelable, the name of this company. But he found 2 of them and went out Sunday morning and bought them to restore. But the name of the dirt bike is it's called a Hodaka Dirt Squirt. And he's like, and like I had a picture of him jumping it on my wall as a kid. Like he still has the picture. He
Kyle, you know
bought
what
it.
you're going to be doing on Saturday night this week?
Yeah.
The Hadoka Dirt Squirt.
Hodaka Dirt Squirt. And he's like, he kept saying it, and I was like, dude, you're fucking making this up.
That's going to be me every morning.
There's no
poking
way
out
this
the dirt
is
squirt.
real. And then when I went to work at Toyota, one of the older guys there is like, yeah, I had an on-off road dirt bike. I used to take trail riding back in the day. I was like, oh yeah, cool. What'd you have? A Hodaka Road Toad.
What the fuck?
I love
Were these
this
like,
company.
Hold on, were
That
these
was-
like Japanese names translated to English poorly?
This was like you can't afford a Yamaha. Here's a Hodaka Dirt Squirt. But like they're cool ass looking little bikes.
See,
but it's like a little 100cc. But they had that, and I'll look up the name. He bought 2, and one's like the slightly bigger one, but it's
Yeah.
straight parts. There's nothing good about it.
Kevin Miller. It sounds like a bike Danny would enjoy.
That's
But
Jesus.
dude, like he's been telling me about this dirt bike he had because it was his favorite dirt bike. He got it like new as a kid, so like it changed his life. He rode it forever, and he always every time he says it like, oh, dude, I wish I could find a Hodaka Dirt Squirt again. I'd love to have another one just because it's so sentimental and like that's me jumping my Hodaka Dirt Squirt. I'm just like, you keep saying this.
Stop saying it.
and you're not laughing when you say it, and you should be laughing because it's the funniest name ever.
Like I said, every
But
morning
he-
at Pocono, the Budweiser Dirt Squirts.
Yeah.
He picked it up Sunday, and like I went over and I was checking it out, and as he was unloading it from the truck, and I was like, "Hey, is that a Hodaka Dirt Squirt?" And he's like, "Yeah, it is actually." I was like, my mom's like, "How'd you know what that was?" I was like, "I guessed, just because it's funny."
Stab in the dark.
Like, no, it's an RM250. No, that's a Hodaka.
You got to
Dirt
send us a
Squirt.
picture of this. I need to see one of these bad
It's
Larrys.
just a completely normal looking '70s dirt bike. It's from
Oh,
like
okay, yeah.
1973.
But like you said, it
Nice.
was probably a knockoff of a.
yeah.
It supposedly he told me. I'm like, does it run? He's like, it needs the carb was all taken apart. So he goes, it needs a new slide for the carburetor. But he
Okay.
goes, the head and the piston are brand new. I was like, how is that possible? He goes, the guy went to a Hodaka dealer and bought this. I was like, there's a dealer, and it's like a DeLorean dealer. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
new old stock type
Yeah.
shit, but it's one guy that just bought all Hodaka's old shit.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, weirdly enough that you say that, when I was on vacation down the Cape, we went, I forget where we went, we're going out to lunch or something like that. We're driving down the road and there's a bunch of traffic. Don't know what's going on. We get up to it. There's 7 DeLoreans pulled over together.
Nice.
I was like, okay.
Any of them painted?
No.
We saw a painted one at that Bud show a couple
Yeah, that
springs
maroon
ago.
one, it
was,
looked horrible.
He painted it maroon. I thought it looked cool.
Painted or wrapped?
He didn't paint it. It was a factory.
It was a factory.
or not
paint.
a factory. Dealerships painted
Yeah,
them.
a dealership paint, like the Harlequins, how some of them got painted. It was it was brand new painted.
That's cool.
It was like maroon. It actually looked kind of sick.
Dan, what do you got for the folks?
As expected, a whole lot of nothing.
Hell yeah.
Blasted up to the lake Wednesday after work. Spent the entire day Thursday on the boat. Did the old get on the boat after being in the water for a while, and then it all hits you at once. Like, woo! Like I told you, there was a time of the night when it was like we can continue or we can stop. I chose stop. Smart move.
Hell yeah.
I was self-preservation mode at that point.
Smart move.
Woke up Friday. We had planned on going home Friday. We have our recurring tea time Friday afternoon, and it was like, let's go home, check on the cats. We'll go play golf, come back Saturday morning. We woke up Saturday morning. It was pouring, and I looked at the weather, and it looked shitty for the rest of the time. rewind though. Thursday night, took the boat out. First time in 10 years at the lake that we've had to leave the lake or leave camp to go see fireworks. So normally there's a guy up at our end of the lake that does this huge fireworks show. Well, he didn't do it this year because it's just gotten so expensive that he's like, I can't do it. He like floats a pontoon boat out and just fires fireworks off, and it's great. So we had to truck like halfway up the lake, but it was awesome because we've never done that before. And like I mean, there were so many fucking boats out. It was ridiculous. First time really doing any night navigation, which luckily our lake is incredibly easy, so it wasn't that bad. But boy, it's tough when you're looking into darkness. I also learned today that the navigational things are reflective. Didn't know that.
Oh.
Like the posts that tell you like where a rock is or like the channel markers. Or
Oh, yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Did not know those were reflective. So we had a flashlight. We had a flashlight in the boat. So I'd like,
That's the point.
I would just kind of like hit them real quick, see where I was going. I'm like, oh, those are reflective. No shit. So that was awesome. Good fireworks. Found out that Frankie apparently was perfectly fine with them last year when he was a puppy, and now this year, not so much. Didn't really love him too much, but he wasn't like freaking out, but he was not happy about it. So we'll be keeping him in the camper at Pocono this weekend when the atomic bombs go off.
No, I can't wait.
I can't fucking wait.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Dan.
Yeah.
We're not going to let Ronan figure it out on his own.
No, it's just the fireworks are just like atomic bombs.
Just normal fireworks. That's all they are.
Well, yeah, it's just because you're so close.
Yeah.
I would watch they move him to the other side of the track this year. No!
Why?
I hope not. We have the best spot. So yeah, woke up Saturday morning. It was pouring. I look at the forecast. It's supposed to be like raining till 11 o'clock. Then there's a couple hour window, and then it's going to be storms all afternoon. So we're like, all right, we'll take our time getting back up there. It's shitty out. Well, then all of a sudden, it's like someone flipped the switch. It was blue sky, sunny, and beautiful. So we're like, fuck, we got to get up there. We haul ass back up to the camp, get on the boat. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We were hanging out with some people. A kid that I work with, his family has a place up there. So we ended up hanging out with them most of the weekend. Awesome people. He works in the office, and I hit him in the face with a Frisbee playing Polish horseshoes and lacerated him right here. Like blood pouring down his face.
Were you trying to hit the pole?
Well, he was turned around, and I threw it, and I didn't realize he was looking the other direction. And I yelled his name, and he turned just as the Frisbee just right between the eyes. I felt so
Because like
bad.
normal Polish horseshoes, chance of an injury low, but like when you see the pole start to lean, you're like, I'm just gonna fucking beat.
Well,
this
and the problem
thing.
is we were doing
That's
it.
when you start
We were
whipping.
doing it in the water, so the pole's really only like this high.
Oh, really?
Like you drive it into the ground, the pole's like this high. You're just kind of throwing it at
were
the
you
surface.
allowing skipping?
No skipping. We did that a lot this weekend though. But so we ended up hanging out with them, and it's like 4:30, and we're like, oh, remember when they said there was going to be thunderstorms at 4 o'clock? Huh, they whiffed on that one because it's blue sky. We're sitting there shooting the shit. It's 15 minutes go by, and someone turns around. They're like, what the hell is that? The sky's black. We're like, shit.
They weren't wrong, just a little off.
They were like, shit. So we
I
all
was in Bow, and we were worried about it. And
we kind of all packed it up. We start driving back to the house. It starts sprinkling. I'm like, all right, we're good. We're all right. It's just sprinkling. Now we're doing okay. We can hear thunder. We're like, probably get back to the house now. There was like no lightning, but there was just thunder. Get back to the house, unload the boat. I literally set foot in the house, started pouring. I was like, nailed it.
Perfect.
Nailed it. Hung out Saturday night there, and then Sunday ended up being absolutely perfect all day. It was like blue skies, little breeze, like 85. The fucking lake is 80 degrees. The lake's like bathwater right now.
That's nuts.
And I was in it all day yesterday.
Is your lake deep?
Parts of it are. So it was 3 ponds that they dammed up and made one big lake. So like up by our house,
Oh, so like there's like 3
Yeah.
low spots in it pretty
up
much.
by our house, it's like anywhere from 2 to 6 feet deep. And then you get out into this big open area, it drops down to like 15. Then it comes back up. Then by the sandbar is literally, it was half my thigh deep this weekend. You go out a little bit, it drops down to like 30 feet. Comes back up, goes back. There's like 3 big areas where it's deep. So it's a little tough. That's why like 90% of the lake is pontoon boats and shit with outboards, because like you can't bring the outdrive boats like wake boats and shit. But there are people that have wake boats, but you're limited on where you can bring them because it's so shallow. You'll fucking.
You could do a jet boat, no problem.
There's a couple jet boats. I haven't seen one for a couple years, but
nice.
yeah.
they
so
weren't like super common.
yeah. So
They didn't
just
like, take off.
chill weekend. I mean, that's pretty much. Started the entire weekend off with, we haven't been to the camp in like a month because June was really busy. So I'm like, I got to mow the lawn. It's fucking waist deep. So I start mowing the lawn with our shitty plug-in electric lawnmower that my mother-in-law had to have because she couldn't pull start the gas one we had. It's like vacuuming, but worse, because if you run over the cord, it'll just fucking. So I'm moving.
That's a good sound effect.
I'm moving.
That was actually pretty impressive.
I'm moving furniture around. I'm moving like the lawn furniture around. I'm like, wow, that hurt. Get zapped by a yellow jacket. Flip the chair over. There's a fucking nest this big underneath the chair. I had no idea it was there. So then Frankie got stung. So now I'm like, all right, it's on, motherfucker. So I drive back into town. We didn't have any hornet spray. Drive back into town. Go to the hardware store. Wait till like 8 o'clock. Flip the chair over. They're all just sitting in the chair in a group. And I'm like, oh, you gonna die today, motherfucker. Steph's standing there. I used half the can on like 30 yellow jackets. She's like, think you went a little overboard. I'm like,
No such thing.
I don't want any of them living.
Tell your friends. Can't. They're dead.
The next morning, I flipped the chair back over. There's just a pile of dead yellow jackets. I was like, got your asses.
Got him.
Yep. So that
Question
actually, I haven't
before-
been stung in a while. I forgot how much that, like, it hurt. It was like a surprise. I was like, oh, that sucks. And like 10 minutes later, I'm like, why is it still burning? Like,
Yeah, that
Dude,
lasts
I
a long
got
time.
killed by black flies this weekend.
oh, they're bad this
and
year.
like I feel like I just have like stingers all over my hands because I don't know, whatever was stinging me, horse flies, black flies, whatever. Like they left like stingers in my hands. It feels like
yeah, the
They
little,
get tender.
we got them at the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
The little black
They're-
flies.
it's all over my hand. Like
Yeah.
my knuckles all red. I got one in the side of my finger.
But yeah, super.
Nice. Well, glad
super,
you had a good time.
Super chill weekend. It was good to be up there. Like we're at the point now where I'll make. Oh, and I met people at the sandbar that are going to Pocono.
Cool.
Some guys were like, oh, like we were talking about NASCAR. He saw my hat. I had my son hat on. He's like, oh, we were allowed to. We're going to Pocono next week. I'm like, so are we.
Same.
And then we found out me and Steph have played golf with these guys before. He's like, I thought you looked really familiar. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
You definitely stand out in a crowd.
I do.
Question for Dan.
oh my God.
real quick,
Kyle
Kyle.
has to get to his birthday
I
month.
tried to ask this question before. So you talked about driving home after the 4th of July on the boat.
Yes.
How bad was it? Because that lake was full of boats.
So when most of them actually went south, which is
Okay.
good. We were going north. We were kind of following one, and it's just tough when you're following behind a boat because all they have. So you got the red and the green lights in the front, and you got the one little white light at the top. So that works until there's houses back there, and that one little white light all of a sudden blends in with the houses that have their lights on and shit. So there was a couple times I'm like, I think that's the boat, or is that a porch light? Like. You're just kind of staring off into the distance.
So I was just wondering that because like you posted a bunch of pictures and videos and like your lake was like everybody
It was-
was on the
that
water.
was stacked, yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
I've never seen that many boats in one place.
And I
Like,
just thought of it and like obviously like you don't have headlights and shit like
Nope.
that. I was like, how is navigating
people are
out of that?
our local, like the group for the lake, people are losing their minds because people were with pontoons that have the docking lights were driving around with them on like they were headlights, and people were like, yo, you're fucking blinding everybody. Like none of us can see. You're ruining everyone's night vision with your stupid headlights. Because people were just treating them like headlights, and it's like that's not what they're meant for. Like they're meant for when you're pulling into your dock so you can see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was fun though. It was a good time.
Good.
Finally got to actually use the underglow on the boat. I've put it on 2 years ago. I think I've put it on like once. I've never actually had to, like we don't go out at night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was so hyped. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, neon lights, let's go.
Finally get to show these bad boys
Yeah,
off.
Yeah.
Nice. Obviously, I was on vacation with my family last week, so relaxed around the house pretty much the entire week.
Relaxed. Why did I see you power bombing your parents?
Yeah, that includes splashing people at the beach.
Yeah, that was on their private beach.
Kyle just fucking
Yeah.
sprinting across the beach like a 4-year-old. Just
Damn right.
It was the greatest. I love
Damn
that
right.
video.
Yes, just walked out the back door, went to the beach pretty much every day.
No shark
pretty
attacks?
lucky. No shark attacks.
Yeah, Joffrey got rid of him. Joffrey, he's ruining my vacation.
Cut your foot and then go swim around out there.
Yesterday was the birthday, so left the Cape, went back to my future in-laws' house, pick up Bodie, drove home, found a leak in the ceiling in my office from the central air, and spent my whole birthday in the 115-degree attic fixing it.
I was so confused why Snapchat was like, Kyle's in town, say hi. And I'm like, he's an hour and a half away. What are you talking about?
Yeah, not even close. So yeah, that's it.
Did you get into the drywall yet? Or are you letting it dry out a little bit?
I'm gonna let it dry first.
Yeah,
I'm not
smart.
dealing with that before we leave.
Smart move.
See how soft it gets and then
I was off work for a week. I worked for 3 days and then we're gone again. I got way too much shit to do. I fixed it. It's not leaking. I'll deal with the
Yeah.
leak
Ramifications
stain
later.
later.
Yep.
Cool. Ready?
Sure.
Breaking news.
The news. Breaking news. I think the
News.
heat's on.
that sounded different, I feel like that sounded really surround soundy for me.
I don't know. Yeah, breaking news.
Same button.
I think the heat's
The
on.
same way too long button. Yeah, I am sweltering
I am
right now.
so hot.
I'm
Yeah.
actually not bad.
All right, we'll get into the news. Couple bits of news, some pretty big ones over the course of the past week. We will start with AM Racing. A lot going on here. We learned mid-late week that Joey Logano will be replacing Haley Deegan for the Chicago Street Race Course, and then we found out today that Haley Deegan is now out of the car for good.
Bye, Felicia.
Two statements put out today, one by AM and one by Haley Deegan, that they had seemed to amicably-ish part ways based
Well,
on the words. But
I don't know.
There's
Hers was
nothing
like, well,
amicable about splitting ways halfway through the season.
and what was
Yeah.
what was her thing? And only some know the full story.
Only I
or
know the
only
whole
I know
story.
the whole story.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound amicable to me. But
yeah, I suppose. Both have decided to part ways, supposedly. Sounds like more of a their decision than a her decision, based on she's working, what her statement says, something along the lines of working towards finding her next opportunity. So I don't think she has anything lined up.
No.
So yeah, Haley Deegan out at basically at the halfway point, a little bit past of her rookie season in Xfinity.
I mean, I'm surprised because of the amount of sponsorship and money she seemingly brings, but I'm not surprised based on performance.
Yeah. And
Like
then-
a couple weeks ago, the whole crew chief thing where they fired Joe Williams, seemingly fired. They also amicably split ways halfway through the
seems
season.
like a theme.
Where they got rid of him, and the whole theory behind that was they were seemingly blaming him for performance. And now, 3 weeks removed from that, probably, if not a little less.
Two racing
Yeah,
weeks.
2 races. They decided they're going to put Joey Logano in the car. Don't know if that was before or after they broke up.
I heard Joey found out on like Wednesday.
Right. So I don't know if it was, hey, we're thinking about putting another driver in the car to get more data. And maybe she's like, I took that personally. And then they got into a fight and they broke up. I don't know the exact story, or if they split ways earlier in the week and they're just like, shit, who are we going to put in this car? Joey. But they definitely, whether it was before or after Chicago, they officially split ways.
Right.
This crew chief, by the sounds of it,
Is an idiot.
is a bag boy at Walmart. Like, I don't,
Did you hear anything about this? We were
No.
talking about it in Discord. Someone posted it, and I heard this yesterday. So apparently Logano, during the race this weekend, was telling the crew chief how to adjust air pressure. And like, hey, the car's tight. I need this. This is how you do it.
Oh, Jesus.
Like telling him how to do his job.
right.
And
Like, I'm sure, like, the guy knows, like, how to adjust air pressure and how to adjust wedge and stuff, but
Yeah.
he doesn't know how it affects the car, maybe.
I guess Joey was
Or
holding
didn't
his
know
hand
correctly.
essentially holding his hand through the whole thing. Joe Soul, who's a big Haley fan, he says he listens to her every week, I guess. He said that he's noticed that, at times she's like, the car is tight in whatever, tight in, loose off, whatever, and they just don't fix it. Like they can't figure out how to fix it.
By the sounds of it, what I was hearing today as well is she isn't giving that kind of feedback.
Also, I think
Kind of
it's
like a Cole Trickle type situation.
yeah.
Not comparing her to Cole Trickle, but that's just the
I don't
basis
know-
of
don't know the
his way, my
terminology.
way type thing where, like, I don't know how to tell you what the car is doing. or I
yeah,
don't-
she's a rookie.
Yeah, I don't understand the car, but at the same time, she has seemingly her entire career has been in just cars that are just fast. Like in
I was just watching the cloud go straight across the camera.
her K&N, her Arcadays,
couldn't
whatever
hear.
she raced in, she was just put in the best cars. So it was like, hey, you're getting in a car that's already set up to go fast. Now it's like, hey, we need you to tell us how to make this car fast, and she doesn't know how to do that, seemingly.
Yeah,
And then-
but you also can't expect a rookie to do that either.
Right, and was Brett Moffitt last year telling them everything they needed to do, and that's why they were successful?
Probably.
And then Joe Williams was kind of just like, it worked out last year, and then this year he didn't have the driver that could relay him as much information,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, when you get a rookie of any kind, the crew chief is 10 times more valuable than, say, a Kyle Larson or Jimmy Johnson back in the day. Like, I need, half a turn wedge. I need this, that, and the other. People that know their car, know what they need, know what they want, and how to fix it. That makes the crew chief's job easy. It's never an actual easy job, but it makes their job a hell of a lot easier. You got a rookie coming in saying, hey, I'm tight center through 2 and 3. Whatever.
This was the
Like that they tell you what they feel. It's up to the crew chief to either teach them what that means,
Yeah.
or do it for them.
So
Or
this
you have
was
drivers
There's plenty
like-
of drivers that
Like
don't.
Kyle Larson. Don't tell me what you're doing. Just make the car better.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
Kyle Larson
that's-
has said that 100 times.
That's where I was going to go with it. Some drivers will just tell you, "Hey, this is what
It's
I'm
doing.
feeling. You do it." Some drivers they flat out don't know.
I'm sure
you
Joey
can't.
Logano's an old school. Like I want to know everything. Like Brad Keselowski.
Brad
Keselowski
Brad 100%.
I would
wants to
bet-
know every single thing.
I
you're
would
doing.
bet
Brad will
the
go do it
older-
himself if you let him out of the car.
Yeah, I would bet the older guard, like the Joeys, the Brads, Denny, Truex, the guys that drove like the Gen 4s and the car tomorrows where you had to make all those wedge adjustments and track bar adjustments. And they know, not to mention most of them raced like late models and probably had to work on their own shit.
Right.
You know, those guys know what, hey, I'm going to put a half a round in the right rear. They know exactly what that's going to do. And that's why they want to know. Not saying Larson doesn't know that, but he's like, I'm loose off, just fix it and I'll drive it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
but this is the tweet that Joe actually found, Average Joe. It was pretty, I don't know who this person is, but I guess it's somebody that must have been listening to the radio. It was pretty eye-opening to hear a two-time Cup champion explain how to adjust tire pressure to the crew chief. Other reports of the crew chief not listening to the same two-time Cup champion throughout the race. Took a future Hall of Fame driver to get that rust bucket to a top 10.
yeah. Yep. So I mean, there's obviously a lot more going on.
I
there.
think it's both sides.
100%.
There was a lot of people that were jumping right in and saying it was all Haley. Then I saw people jumping in and the crew chief sucks. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah, it's
100%.
a recipe for disaster, one way or the
Exactly,
other.
exactly.
Has she performed? Absolutely not.
Have they given her the best platform to perform?
Doesn't sound like
Doesn't
it.
sound like
We
it.
don't know.
Yeah,
We know
exactly.
Brett Moffitt did fine in that car, did
He
decently
just missed
well
the
for
playoffs
what it
last
was.
year.
You know,
I mean,
he was a fringe
did-
playoff driver.
He did better than that car should have ever done.
Yes.
Right. But you put a rookie in the car, you can't expect a rookie to ever outperform the car. Per se.
No, but at the same time, it's you put a rookie in the car, you shouldn't take 20 steps backwards. Like you put Brett Moffitt in the car, truck champion, multi-time truck winner, competent driver, and he's running top 15, borderline top 10 very consistently. And
Right.
then you put a rookie in the car, hey, she's bringing more funding, she's a development driver. Okay, she shouldn't be wrecking, fighting for 35th. And
Yep.
that's kind of what
No,
was
I
happening.
agree.
If she took that car and consistently ran 22nd every week, like, okay, yeah, I can sacrifice 7 to 10 spots because you're developing a rookie.
100%.
But you take that car, exact same car, if not better, because supposedly she came over and brought Ford with her, and they became a fully funded Ford team. From what the original announcement was, I don't know whether it worked out or not.
Yeah.
But last year they came in as they were solely standalone, and I think they got like third-hand help from Stuart Haas. This year, I think they were more supported by Ford because obviously Haley is deeply connected to Ford.
Right.
And it's just, they went from running 10th to 15th last year with less funding and self-sponsoring the car every week to now a fully funded car running 29th to 34th every week and
Right.
wrecking the car in the process.
100%.
I loved Haley when she first came in. When she was in K&N, I was like, I want her to do what Danica Patrick couldn't and be successful. Not just be a girl in motorsports that gets moved forward because she's a girl in motorsports. I want to see more of these or more women in the sport. I want her to prove that I can come in and I don't just get jobs because I'm a minority in this sport. I want to get jobs because I earned it and I'm fast. In K&N, she won, 3 races? 2-3 races?
Yeah, I think, yeah, you're right.
Given she was in very good equipment.
Yeah, but it's weird because like in the K&N days, she was aggressive, but not overly aggressive. And then I feel like she's just kind of raced scared. Does that sound,
K&N,
does that make
she-
sense? Like,
I want to say, was it Eldora? It was a dirt race, one of her wins, and she was very aggressive.
yeah,
And then I think her other race was other one was like a bull ring type place where she moved her teammate, the 16 Napa car. She punted him out of the way and just sailed off to the victory.
yeah.
So she definitely used her bumper, but in the lower series you got to do that. And I totally respect skipping ARCA.
Yeah.
ARCA,
They're
going to put you in the Venturini car, which she couldn't do because she was Ford. And you're just either going to go finish top 3 every week or you're going to get another car and finish 13th.
right.
there's
There's about
no-
5
yeah,
competitive
there's no in
cars, and
between.
half of them are
So I
Venturini
respected
cars.
her going to trucks, and she just never got settled in trucks because trucks, the schedule was so wonky. It's like, all right, she can't focus hard enough. She doesn't have a consistent enough schedule. Put her in Xfinity, and then Xfinity, it's just like, oh, well, she wasn't ready for that jump.
No. No.
Like I
So I mean,
figure
we don't.
with more repetition you'd get better, but she hasn't seemed to do that.
We obviously don't know the whole story. Obviously, we can only go on what we're hearing, but I kind of agree with Dan's sentiment that it's probably a little bit of both.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think you put Joe Williams back on that box and put Brett Moffitt back in that car, and I bet it runs pretty close to what Joey did this weekend, pretty consistently.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. But we
they
did
putting-
find out that Josh Berry will be in that car for Pocono. Kind of my guess is, like Dan said before we started recording, that it'll probably become a revolving door of all-stars, and whoever wants to race the
Ford guys.
Xfinity.
Pretty
Ford
much
guys
all
that-
the Stewart Haas guys, I'm sure, will be in that car at some point.
Probably.
I think they already said Josh was like 4 more races this year or something
That's
like that.
the rumor that there was like Josh might be in the next 4
Pocono,
races.
Indy,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
so it'll be cool to see Josh because obviously Josh was fantastic in the Xfinity cars. It will be tough to watch Josh race against Junior Motorsports
That'll be. Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Oh, yeah.
because he went to Cup. He's not directly competing against his friend and guy who gave him his shot. So it wasn't like as painful. It's like, oh, he's going to Ford, but it's a Cup ride. But now he's going to Xfinity in a Ford, and now he's got to bang doors with Junior Motorsports to get anything done. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, it'll be tough. But it'll be nice to see him back.
More Josh Berry news, though.
Speaking of Josh Berry, next transition.
That boy's been in the news a lot this week.
We found
the tire
out
barriers.
that Josh Berry will officially be the driver of the number 21 Wood Brothers Ford Mustang in 2025. No news yet about Rodney joining him, but it doesn't quite look like that'll be the case.
They're from John Wood, who is now the vice chairman of Wood Brothers or whatever his position is, which is super cool because John Wood's a super nice guy. Nick Cohan knows him really well. A bunch of us raced with him on iRacing for a long time. I only raced with him a couple times. But like Cohan, DeBarro, all those guys turned a bunch of laps with John Wood. Super good dude. He's pretty much running Wood Brothers now. And he had an interview after the press release, and the number one question was, are you bringing over Rodney? Are you bringing over Rodney? And Wood Brothers is Penske. So it's kind of hard for them to grab somebody from outside because it's like, this is Penske. We have layers of people here. So it seems like they're going to check. They're going to try everything they can in Penske, probably do some dates and first dates and play the love game and see if he meshes with anybody at Penske before going out and spending as much money as they're going to need to spend on Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like Rodney's still a free agent. I don't think the door's completely closed at Wood Brothers, but I think they're going to check all their boxes in-house before they go to him.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm happy for it, and I'm happy to see the Wood Brothers get potentially a winning, capable driver behind the wheel of that 21, shall we say?
It's been since Blaney, pretty much.
It's cool for Josh.
Matty D was,
Matty D was all right.
if they
Paul
gave
Menard
him a
wasn't
longer...
horrible.
All right. Yeah,
No.
True.
And then
True.
Matty D had
Flashes.
flashes of greatness, and then Harrison just hasn't done shit since he got in the car.
Yeah.
No, nothing at all. Hate it for him. Hopefully he gets another ride somewhere else and can kind of rebuild himself because he needs it. I don't know whether it's a confidence thing that he needs or he's just not cut out for Cup. He did okay in Xfinity. Wasn't there very long. Kind of got rushed up. He got what, 3 wins, 4 wins?
I don't even know if he got that many. But
Something
he
like
was,
that.
It might have been a couple, but you can stick anybody in a Joe Gibbs car long enough, and they're going to eventually whoop the field in Xfinity.
Wow.
Yeah, I was right. 4 wins.
Bowman was alive enough to go on Harvick's podcast today.
Did he?
Ugh,
He
Jesus.
also, I'm sure, had to phone into juniors.
probably. Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you those are going to be some good
Yeah,
interviews.
75 races in Xfinity, 49 top 10s, 4 wins.
Yep.
So he did okay. So we'll see where he goes, but I'm going to guess it's not going to be a Cup ride.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
for
so.
No, maybe one of the driver intro Tundras.
Yeah.
That could be a good seat for him.
All right, moving on. We got Spire Motorsports in the news because we found out after the Carson Hocevar Harrison Burton incident that Carson Hocevar was fined
Bonk.
$50,000 and 25 points.
That's a steep one and good.
I think it was Norm that was saying it. It's the history.
Oh, that's
Looking
100.
back at what someone's
Yeah,
been
I
doing.
defended
100%.
him because I definitely saw the Harrison checkup. Harrison definitely brake checked him
Yeah.
because there was a couple different views, but I never got to see the actual replay that I feel like we saw live. Like all the replays everyone was showing was like the instance that they made contact, and it's hard to judge a book from a really small picture.
Yeah.
And there was a longer form video on the broadcast that I felt like made it look like it was more on Harrison than it was, but NASCAR obviously checked it. They checked the data on the throttle and brake, and they determined that Carson definitely
was the instigator in that.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then I guess I was listening to Stacking Pennies today, and Corey obviously isn't going to say anything, even though it doesn't sound like they even talk over
It doesn't.
at Spire.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
There
like
is no team communication
Yeah.
whatsoever over there.
they've talked. He's talked about Carson before. I think it was one of the times Carson got into him earlier in the season, and they didn't sound very.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did you talk to Carson about that? No. It's
Yeah.
like, well, that's kind of your job,
yeah,
is to communicate with your teammates. That's the whole point of having teammates. And then you're the elder statesman, given you don't have the stats to really be like, this is how I would have done it. But like, you have the experience to be like, hey, in the Cup Series, this is how this should have played out and stuff like that. So I just don't know what's going on at Spire. That team's in shambles. But yeah, Carson got bonked pretty fairly, considering what he did at Loudon.
yep.
We didn't really touch on that because we didn't see a lot of it.
We talked about it last week after when we were talking about his whole.
But he got
thing.
away with murder at Loudon. Then he did it at Nashville twice.
Well, and
Supposedly the caution before that, he was dooring the hell out of Todd Gilliland under caution.
yeah, and his history. I mean, he got penalized in the Truck Series for right hooking somebody. This has been he has a long rap sheet of things he's gotten penalized for and things he hasn't even gotten penalized for. So, I didn't love his interviews. Did you see his interview with Bob at Chicago this week?
Mm-hmm.
Where normally, what do we normally see when someone gets penalized for something like this? Oh, I'll
I respect their decision.
Blah. He was very like, oh, well, my guys, we have the SMT data, so we really know what happened, and everybody in my shop agrees with me. Like, it didn't seem like he learned from it. It was more like
No, he's not even accepting it.
he's not even accepting it. It was more like he might as well have thrown up gang signs and been like, fuck you guys. Like,
We know the real
we know
truth.
the real truth. It wasn't like, which again, I mean, we say we want personality out of these guys, but in this situation, it's probably best to just be like, hey, I screwed up. It is what it is. I think
It's tough, though.
maybe not I screwed up, but like, yeah, Harrison hit the brakes, but I shouldn't have been there to be, maybe I shouldn't have been trying to rough him up to begin with. I respect their decision, blah, blah, blah. It was just like complete defiance. Like, we've got the data to back it up.
He
Fuck.
did say that I respect what they said, but there was the but after.
It was very defiant. Like, he almost had the way his body language, and it looked like he was just that kid that got caught doing something, but was like, fuck you, I'll do it again tomorrow. That's how it just, I don't know. I like the kid, but it's just these little events keep happening.
It just sucks, too, because I'm dying. As fans,
Jealous.
that never gets old. That joke will never
It
die.
never gets old.
Unlike me.
Ah.
Fingers crossed. As fans, we want as much drama as possible. But the second there's drama, we are so fucking critical and we're so fast.
Oh, I
like
know.
NASCAR beat this kid over the head with a hammer.
I know.
Like Bubba this week.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna talk about a shit ton, I'm sure, but it's like that's one thing. Like, yeah, if the driver's pissed, he should show his displeasure. But then we're like, well, that was kind of a long time to be pissed, and then you did it
Yeah.
at a really bad time, and then the fights, like Noah and Ross, like, oh, let him duke it
Yeah.
out, and then the Ricky and Kyle Busch, it's like, well, fucking, you waited 2.5 hours to
no,
punch
I
him,
know.
and like, so like it's so double ended. Everything we are like double sided.
Double-sided.
Dilly.
Double-ended.
It's such NASCAR is such a double-ended dilly. You know what I mean?
Kyle
what
leaves.
just happened?
Nothing.
But it's so hard because like we want these guys to show emotion and to
Yeah.
kind of like race aggressively.
The thing is, there's
and
a
show
time and a
personality,
place.
but it's at the same time it's like that's hit them as soon as you go green. Like fuck them up on the restart.
I know, spinning him under caution, and especially where he spun him like back up into traffic. It's
Right.
It's much like the Austin Hill Cole Custer thing when Austin spun Cole out and it was into traffic essentially. You know, like there's a time and a place. Like, I mean, again, we'll get into it with the Bubba thing, but like, what's the golden rule? Don't do it on pit road.
Yeah.
Or
under caution.
or under
Right,
caution.
like Ty Gibbs taking that swipe a couple years ago.
Exactly. Or who spun? Was it Suarez spun Bowman at Coda a couple years ago on pit road after the
Yeah,
race?
and then slammed into Ross.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
either Coda or Walking. I think it was Coda.
It was Coda.
Backwards pit road.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think this was well deserved, and I didn't love his reaction to it this week. So we'll see.
But like you said before, it also goes back to the driver's history.
100%. 100%.
If this is a driver that we never see this out
If
of, like,
Harrison Burton does this to Carson Hocevar, he's going to get bonked, but not
but at
that
the same
much.
time, NASCAR's gonna be like, it was probably an accident. He probably just wasn't in control of his race
Yeah.
car.
Also true.
Another one.
But if
Whoops.
it's a driver that we never see do this, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like something had to have happened for Michael McDowell to be this pissed.
Yeah, yeah.
But if it's a driver that always is doing something like, all right, well, what fuck did Kyle Busch fucking nub his toe this morning?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's tough because there's two sides to it, but at the same time, it's like Carson Hocevar has a history of doing this shit. So NASCAR is just like every little thing he's gonna do like this, NASCAR's gonna be like, we fucking told you 3 series ago not to do this.
Yeah,
and
we
you're
told
still
you when
doing
you
it.
were in the truck series to stop
Yeah.
doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. You get put under a microscope after a certain point.
Yep.
Cool. Well, that's those are kind of the main bits of news. We did see the prototype, which people have kind of lost their mind about.
I think it kind of fucks, actually.
Yeah, it was kind of badass. That
It's-
launch was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. I just could never see him doing a series with it.
Well,
Yeah, there's no plans for any
Wait,
series
what?
or anything.
What are
They
you
just
talking about?
showed it off.
That was the news I was looking for. Sorry, continue talking
Oh,
about
is
it
the
while I look this
UFC
up.
guy breaking news again?
I saw a tweet today. Let me find it. I think NASCAR on Reddit retweeted
I just
it.
don't think they'd race good, to be honest.
They wouldn't race for a very long time, that's for sure.
No, but
Okay,
like,
so this is
yeah,
from-
battery changes every 25
This
laps.
is from Adam Stern at 10:30 this morning. NASCAR is in advanced talks to invest in Nitrocross, a move that would allow NASCAR to play a role in an EV racing series, but without it being one of its main national circuits.
Okay.
So jumpy NASCAR?
Maybe. Or they just turn it into this.
Because they talked about it on Stacking Pennies, I think, briefly, very briefly. But that's one of Travis Pastrana has a series. One of his Nitrocross series is electric.
Yeah.
I think that's what
That's
Connor
the one
Daly
that
raced
that's the one
in.
that what's his name? Rogan's in on. Not Rogan. The guy that looks like Joe Rogan.
Fuck, what's that guy?
Dana White.
Dana White. Yeah. It's Dana White was the one that he was like, oh, remember a couple weeks ago we talked about it.
That's
He was
right.
talking
Yeah.
about NASCAR and investing in Nitro. So I don't know. I think it's cool. I mean, I think W said it in Discord that like Chevy and Ford were really pushing for the electric series, but Toyota was like, nah, bro, we don't do electric cars, so we don't want anything to do with this.
Which
'Cause-
is funny because Toyota was the first mainstream to do hybrids.
Well,
Obviously, the other
hybrids-
companies did them.
Toyota's like Toyota's heavy in the hybrids. They're not interested in EVs. Like they have the plug-in Prius, but like they put all their eggs in the hybrid basket
Yeah.
fucking decades ago, and they're like, we're good. So I can see why they wouldn't want one, but by that point they
I
had
just-
already been developing this. So
An
that was kind of
all-wheel drive, 4,000-pound electric
I don't think it
car.
was that all-wheel drive because I saw it doing burnouts.
It might be switched.
Maybe.
Like the Teslas, you can turn on motors, turn them on and off, I think. But just a all-wheel drive, fully electric, 50-50 weight distribution, 4,000-pound car, I just don't see them racing good, especially at ovals. Like, there's no way these
No,
can do
this
ovals.
would be a standalone exhibition,
But this is
probably
something-
road course type.
I brought this up
Yeah.
a couple years ago. I kind of want to see, like, they're talking about the street courses and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I was like, I want to see, like, a mini road course. I think that would be cool. Like a Nitro,
Yeah.
I would love-
Rallycross sized road course. They have such a small footprint.
I would love
of
to see.
pavement.
Do you remember
I'm like,
years?
That would be cool.
I don't know if you guys remember this years ago. Not IROC, but there was that thing in Europe called the Race of Champions.
Yeah.
Where they had like Michael Schumacher and a bunch of guys racing like, weren't they like slingshots or they were tiny little like Expos, I think, or something like that in like an arena. Like they were in like, it almost looked like when Supercross goes to Foxborough. Like they set
Yeah.
up a track in an arena. That'd be fucking sick.
But
Set
yeah,
up
you
like
could,
a little,
You could do that at any football.
set up a road course like inside of a, that'd be a cool
Yeah,
traveling
damn near
circus.
any NFL stadium, and if they're electric, you can do it with the roofs on and shit like
Yeah.
that. So like that's something that could work. I don't think these would put on a better show at anywhere we currently go.
Probably not.
No.
Maybe the street course would be decent, but that's about it. I don't think they'd be good at any of the
Just
road
the all-wheel
courses.
drive, I just don't see the driver contributing
Yeah.
enough. And that's like FE or E F1 or whatever the hell they were calling it.
Formula E.
Formula E was the most boring shit ever.
Formula E is
except
terrible.
for all the drivers were just like shopping cart kids from Walmart. That's the only thing exciting about them. The cars weren't exciting. They would just crash every 5 minutes because the guys had no idea what they were doing.
I don't know. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Everybody's so up in arms about it. This isn't going to replace the Cup Series. This isn't going to replace the Xfinity Series. This isn't even going to replace trucks. It's going to be its own. If it even comes to anything, it's going to be its own thing.
Right.
Because the problem is, if this replaces any of the series, it kills that series because it's no longer a stepping stone series.
Exactly. So this
they
will
can't
just
put this in place of the Xfinity Series because now no one's going to go to the Xfinity Series because it has nothing to do with the Cup Series
Yeah.
anymore.
I also just wish they made it look better. I don't like that it's like a.
It's the stupid generic body.
It looks
they
like
put
a-
a RAV4 body on that thing's going to fuck.
It looks like a fucking Veloster.
It's a crossover.
It looks
Yeah.
like a Veloster.
Very
They're,
Grand Theft
they're big.
Auto
They're
looking.
heavier than
Yeah.
Cup cars.
Yeah.
It was 4,000 pounds, so it's like 400 or 500 pounds more than a Cup car.
Yeah.
So it's SUV size, and we've said forever SUVs would be a fucking cool looking series.
Red flag the race for 2 days when the thing goes up in flames because they can't put it
That's
out.
The problem. It's
Yeah.
EV
So, we'll see-
technology's cool as
see what
hell,
they
It's
do.
just not sustainable.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to see where it goes, and it's NASCAR just trying to stay ahead of the curve, even though, like we were talking about in Discord, the curve's kind of changing a little bit because a lot of the companies, a lot of the OEMs they're backing off of their EV. You know, like a lot of the companies like a year or two ago were claiming, we're going to be full electric by 2035, and now they're like, ooh, the EV market's changing. Like everybody except,
Hybrid it is.
everybody except for Tesla is like, you know, they have EVs sitting all over their lots that they can't get rid of.
Yeah.
So now they're like, oh, maybe we'll go to like you can see that switch. A lot of companies have backed off of their, you know, like Chevy had a big push with all the EV stuff with the Silverado and they're pushing like the Blazer EV right now, but I know they backed off their statements a little bit about
Yeah.
because the infrastructure is just not there. It's not there. I mean, outside of if you have a Tesla, because like our buddy, the kid Kevin, just got that new Model 3. And he did a thing the other day where he like drove from up north to home to see if he could make it home. And somebody was like, what, was there no chargers? And he put a picture up of like on 93 and it was just red pins, like every 10 miles was a Tesla supercharger. But I've also read back when I used to listen to the Smoking Tire, he got a Mach-E and he did like a road trip in it. And it's that whole like Electrify America thing. And he's like, it was a struggle. He's like, I found one charger and when I plugged into it, it said it was going to take like 8 hours to get like 100 miles of range.
They mentioned that on DBC, out of all places. One of their spotter friends from New York was going to go down to the Snowball Derby or I think it was North Carolina, some big late model thing. And he goes to get a rental car, take a rental car down, and the only thing they had was an EV. And he goes, fuck, whatever, I'll take it. He could go 200 miles between charges, and it took 5 hours to charge.
Yeah. Anything outside
You're
of a
taking
Tesla
a,
doesn't have...
like, 15-hour drive, and you're now making it 30-plus hours.
Anything outside of a Tesla just doesn't have the infrastructure to work yet.
Yeah.
So a lot of the companies are backing off. So I feel like when NASCAR started getting into this thing, you know, they've been developing it for a year or two. Like that was when that big push was happening, and now the market's already kind of fading back the other way.
More towards the hybrids.
Yeah.
It also has a lot to do with like the government, like making
yeah.
their mandates about stuff. But then, we're going to make the government fully green and EV. Okay, cool. Well, they just signed a deal with Tesla or Rivian to make 10 million cars. All right. Well, now all these other companies that were going to make a bunch of EVs for the government are no longer going to do
Yeah.
it because they already signed contracts with these other companies.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people are backpedaling, I imagine.
yeah.
But
So we'll see.
cool ass technology. I think the car is cool. But
Sounds rowdy.
past anything other than like a track attack time thing, like we're going to put 5 Cup drivers in it at Sonoma and see who's the fastest.
That'd
I
be
don't
cool.
see it being anything.
Oh, you know,
other
it'd be
than
sick.
Yeah.
That and G56 against each other. Do like an exhibition run around.
That G56 and the IDR.
the best sounding
IDR
race
would
car
win.
in the world versus the worst
Yeah.
sounding race car.
No,
in
I
the
want to
world.
see G56, a regular Cup car, and that thing at the Roval.
That'd be cool.
Do like a 2 or 3 lap shootout.
That's our 24 hours of Le Mans.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Jordan Taylor in the 56 car.
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely. Because it'll
Has
do
to be.
burnouts the whole time.
Hell yes. Cool. All right. Should we head to Chicago?
Sure.
Mazel.
It's raining.
Not yet.
It's only Saturday.
True.
Chicago Street Course Weekend, starting with the Loop 110 on Saturday.
I still hate that name.
The
It was
Loop
same
110?
last year. It was the same last year, and
Yeah.
we made fun of it. But I
Well,
will
last
say,
year was the Loop 15.
True.
So.
before we get into the races, though, I'm so happy. Yes, it rained on Sunday. The Cup race got kind of fucked up again, but everything else went off without a hitch. Did you see the videos of the concerts?
Bro,
Yeah.
that Saturday night concert
Looked
makes
insane.
that like a bucket list race at this
That
point.
looked insane. Like there were drivers there. Like see Kurt Busch's video. He's backstage. He's like,
Yeah.
this is why I'm not. He's like, this is why I like life
Well,
after
they did-
driving.
It was like mandatory driver intros
They-
during the concert.
Yeah, they did driver intros during the concert. Like our Brad Perez was out in the crowd 2-stepping and shit. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds like it was super unorganized. So hopefully, if they do it again and they are able to get some big concert, big music
Names.
people next year, music enjoyers or
Well, they had Keith
Makers.
Urban,
There's Keith Urban,
yeah,
Black
but if they
Sundays,
can do it again
Chainsmokers.
next year, Corey LaJoy was saying it was like super unorganized.
like the
Yeah.
driver.
they were
part.
just like, "Hey, we're gonna call your name. Okay, what do I do? all right, Corey LaJoy. And it's
Yeah,
like,
because
he
Jeff
just like walked out. Half the people went the wrong way.
Gluck and Bianchi were there, and they said they're like, I wish some of the drivers would have like shown a little more personality. Said a lot of them just came out like, yay, and then
'Cause
left.
they
but
had
now
no
I get it.
instruction.
If they had no instruction and they
Like
were confused.
Bubba got out there. Obviously, Bubba's big drummer and
Yep.
metal music and stuff like that. He gets out. He gets in the drum line and he's banging on one of the guys' drums. It's like, that's cool as shit. Blaney comes out. Chase Briscoe, I guess, came out, went the wrong way, so he ended up just hanging out with the fans.
That's cool.
Because he like turned left off the stage and ended up like walking down along the fence. So he's just like hanging out, signing autographs and high-fiving people and
Yeah.
shit.
I feel like there's probably a lot of instruction for the driver intros for like, let's say the All-Star race when they come out with the crews and they're throwing T-shirts and stuff.
Right.
If
Yeah.
this was unorganized, that makes sense as to why some of them just walked out there awkwardly like, hi, you know.
Right.
But
I
it was
thought-
cool, but also like forcing them to be in their driver suit at like 8:30 at night, Saturday night. Like
yeah,
that
I would have rather
sucks.
seen them just in street clothes
But
at that
dude,
point.
the
but
videos from that concert looked awesome.
there was a shit ton of them on Twitter Saturday night, Sunday morning, and I was like, that looks fun.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that
that
I'm
looks
really
like a
glad that it
riot.
actually got to happen this time.
Yes.
I would much rather be an Xfinity guy than a Cup guy this
'Cause
weekend.
you get to party on
Because
Saturday.
like Parker Kligerman was like shotgunning beers on stage, or I'm sure it was the hard seltzer things that
Probably.
they sell. But it's like all the Xfinity guys that hung around to go to that, because a lot of them spotted and stuff on Sunday, or Parker had to work on Sunday, so I'm sure he couldn't go crazy. But a lot of those guys got to enjoy that. Brad Perez, for example, got to enjoy the concert, where the Cup guys are like, I'm fucking working.
Yeah.
But like, dude, that concert, I was like, God damn it, we
I'm-
have to go,
I'm
we have to go
really-
see fucking M80 and Steve and the Monkeys.
Well,
this
no,
weekend.
yeah. At Loudon, we get the AC/DC cover band we've had for the last 10 years, and then we get friggin' the karaoke bands or whatever we get at Pocono. It's like that block party setup, we've said it on here 100 times. The block party setup at Pocono could be not as cool as Chicago, because that's obviously the fucking Lollapalooza stage. But like, if you got a big name there, that'd be insane.
Even a mediocre
even a
name.
C name. Give me an up and coming artist and something, whether it be a DJ or a country artist or
Yeah, just give me a
something.
DJ.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. When Monster,
Yeah, John Boris gets Post Malone and Luke Combs at Iowa this weekend, because I think it's IndyCar weekend at Iowa this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Where's that?
when Monster,
Someone wants to have Norm's baby, though.
That is Don Runkle.
hey, it's Donnie. It's friggin' Dawn.
You going to
But,
give it to him or what?
No, dude, he's not a suitable father.
Are you?
I'd be the mother.
Oh, are you a suitable mother?
No.
Well, you love that puppy.
Yeah, but that dog I can leave alone for 8 hours.
It's fair.
Fucking kid, you leave him in the car for 5 hours, and it's a big deal.
You can't leave a dog in the car for 5 hours either.
Yeah, but the cops aren't really gonna come, are
Yeah,
they?
yeah, they will. No, you'll have Karen
will.
smashing your window.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that whole setup, I'm so glad that, because like last year, I still remember the hype last year. Like everyone got there Friday and we had all the track walks and the atmosphere was insane. And then first thing Saturday morning, it just monsooned. And it didn't,
Deluge.
And it didn't stop until Sunday night. So it's like you lost it. It washed the atmosphere away. At least this year, we got all the excitement on Friday. You got all of Saturday's events in, no problem. Weather looked friggin' perfect all
Got
day.
the Sunday
Saturday.
morning concert, too.
The Sunday morning stuff happened. So, like, we're getting there. There was a step up from last year, but
Yeah,
that's-
for sure.
I had said that early. I think I said that last year. I was like, I want to see them get all of this full event in, and they did. So that's awesome.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into the Loop 110.
You mean the Kyle Larson and Shane Van Gisbergen show?
That's all we need to talk about.
So good.
That, like, race of the year?
I was going to say best battle of the year.
Easily.
Unbelievable
The fact-
battle between
so-
the two of them. And it was so nice and
It was respectful.
exactly that they raced each other hard. They were battling back and
Dive
forth
bombing each other.
with respect,
Yep.
and they were kissing each other's ass after the race.
The thing that got me, so I didn't watch this whole race. I went back and watched the highlights of their battle. I saw the picture of the SVG thumbs up. I thought that was under caution. I didn't realize that
no,
was.
I think that was under caution.
I saw a clip where they were full song and he's got his hand out the window.
oh no, I thought it was at the end of stage one.
Maybe it was. Okay, maybe the clip I saw, it looked like they were still
I mean,
racing.
he might have been throwing up thumbs up, but I think that picture's at the
Oh,
end of
okay,
stage
because I'm
one.
pretty sure I saw one of them.
So I'm
Like,
pretty sure the safety car's lit up behind him.
I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at it. But yeah, SVG's throwing Larson the thumbs up out the window because he, game recognizes game.
And-
Right, and they
and
raced clean,
Larson's-
which I think SVG was like, I've been fucking waiting for this.
Yeah.
Larson's interview was fantastic. I mean, everyone talks about Larson as, the best driver of our generation kind of thing. And the only thing he was talking about after the fact was how good SVG was. He's like, I feel like he was playing with me a little bit, but we had a lot of fun.
Everyone is saying that. Everyone's like, if you look at SVG's on board, it's like he wasn't hitting his marks. He wasn't doing anything. He was just trying to get Larson to fuck up.
Yeah.
Like the entire time. And like they're like, I feel like he's going half throttle just to keep Larson in front of him, just so he could keep chasing him.
But the crossovers, the dive bombs, the back and forth, like, and it was, you're right, it was all of those things, but respectful.
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Also, side note, did you see what SVG signed this weekend?
The rugby ball?
Titties?
Someone had him sign the picture of him holding Austin Hill.
Oh,
as a
yeah, I
baby.
saw that. Bob
Oh,
posted
no way.
Yeah,
That's
with
awesome.
the, like King of the Hill over it.
Yeah, and
he
it,
signed
and
it.
he signed it.
That's
It was
awesome.
just like a shitty printout of the picture.
Dude,
that
it was like
somebody did.
layers. It's like somebody manually
It looked like-
photoshopped this picture.
It looked like someone pasted it together like a ransom note.
Oh, God.
It was really bad, but it's super funny.
But that
that race
racing
was unfucking
even
believable.
the end, like just because SVG had to get by that last run. I watched the last like 10 laps.
he went back to like 20th.
Yeah, he had to
And
get
then
by.
I think on that final run, he was probably 9th.
he was somewhere in there. Yeah,
And he just cut through the field. I mean, he had a little bit of damage. He made, I think, one mistake.
yeah.
When he clipped the last turn wall and Sam Mayer jacked him up, and everyone's like, dude, fuck Sam Mayer. Why is he doing like, dude, SVG hit the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was sideways, and Sam Mayer just like,
And what a
helped him
save,
get
by the way.
sideways.
Yeah, that was that was just such a good race.
But it's nice to see him finish one and the car's not totaled.
Yes.
Like he had a little bit left front damage, which I think all came from that Sam Mayer contact. Like he had a little bit of damage on the car, but it's like he finished the race, he won, and his car doesn't look like a demolition derby.
And that freaking burnout.
Yeah.
Again,
Unreal.
He didn't drift. I was surprised.
he tried. And I
yeah.
think he realized that, like, you know, I have a high probability of fucking this car up. So maybe I don't have a lot of
Yeah.
room here.
Like-
Because you could see
Like
him go-
our Sunday winner?
Yes. He
He
went
didn't
into
hit anything.
I
Yes,
think-
he did.
Yes, he did. He nosed it into the fence.
No,
Slightly.
I thought he stopped it before.
you
Nope.
see it bonk.
He hit it.
You see it
Did he
bonk
bonk?
into
Did
the
he bonk?
fence.
Very
little bit.
first time he tries to kick it sideways right into the
But then
fence.
he drifted the rest of the track.
Yeah.
So.
But-
And no one showed it. They showed his in car the whole
Yeah,
time.
I saw like 2 pictures of
But
it. or 2
SVG
videos of it.
tried to. I saw him going into like 1 or 2. You could see him try to get sideways, and then he was kind of like,
I'll wait.
maybe not. And then he
Yeah.
went, and
No
then he just
runoff, not worth it.
boiled the whole front stretch. Did you see the people that caught the rugby ball that got to like come down on the track?
Do you
and
see
shit?
his team trying to give him a football?
Yeah.
They've
I was like, what are they
done-
doing?
they've
Doing
done
that. They did that the last
last
two.
2 races, and NBC gets so confused every time. And it's just, that's what the pit crew has, because all the pit crew guys are ex-football players on every team. So every pit crew has footballs they just toss around.
Right.
And they always have them because it has the number on it. So it's like, yeah, 97. And they show it to the camera, and every single time NBC's like,
They got a football
I guess
this
they're
time.
going to kick a football and not a rugby ball. It's like,
And then the
Chris
rugby
Rice
ball-
is going to show up with a rugby ball in 5 seconds.
And there he was.
Yeah.
And he showed right up.
Yeah.
And they put air in it this time.
Yes, it wasn't
Good
flat.
boot. Good
Great
boot.
Great
Yeah.
boot.
And it had a bounce, too. It hit one group of people and then bounced to the next grandstand.
I thought when he kicked it, it looked like he was going over. I was like,
oh,
yo,
he launched it.
Curve.
yeah. I was like, yo, that wasn't a big grandstand, and he fucking launched
that-
it.
There was
thing-
another angle I saw. He kicked it super high.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it banked way right.
Yeah.
Because he was like facing the left grandstand and it ended up in the right grandstand, but then they bounced it back to the other grandstand. It was a good kick. Love to see it. And SVG, dude. I mean, even after he gets foreshadowing wrecked in the cup race, he's like smiling. He's like, oh yeah, that's unfortunate. But he's just so happy about everything.
Dude, I said it in Discord. Have you talked to anybody that doesn't like him? Have we found a
Austin
single
Hill.
Austin Hill.
outside from
Hill's
Austin
the one
Hill?
person.
Like,
Probably
Richard Childress.
is he the
Andy
most?
Petrie probably loves him now. Who knows?
Is he the most likable guy in NASCAR right now
I think so.
by a country mile?
Classy, well spoken,
Happy to be
happy
here.
to be there. Great sponsors.
I loved somebody in Discord was like, "Has anyone seen a picture of this guy not smiling?" And it was 2 definitely photoshopped pictures of him not smiling.
no,
they were-
because
they were-
when I ran into him coming out of the bathroom, he was smiling on the way out of the bathroom, and then I said, "Good luck," and the smile continued. Oh, thanks, man. So pleasant.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Mike.
I want to meet him this weekend.
Is
That's
it? He was the 30 seconds we interacted, unbelievably pleasant. He was just like, "Oh, thanks so much."
That was at the same
like
time, Josh-
surprised that I said, "Go get him" or whatever
Yes,
I said.
dude.
Good
You
luck or
could
whatever.
see- and he was just mind blown that there was so much SVG merch and stuff hanging
Yeah.
around. Like he posted a picture. Somebody had an SVG banner like up in an apartment building, like hanging out their window.
Yeah, he posted that when
I
he was
didn't
like
see that.
gutted.
posting pictures and stuff
That's
about it,
cool.
and it's like wow, there's so much SVG merch. He must be the most popular guy. It's like, well, he's the only person these guys have ever seen win.
Speaking of banners that go completely off track, but to a different track, did you see the banner at
The Hawk brake
Mid Ohio?
pads.
Hawk brake pads, and someone took a banner and put it over, and it says Tua.
Nice. But
Those
yeah,
IndyCar fans,
unbelievable.
The Xfinity race was awesome.
ridiculous.
Not too much carnage, although that practice accident
Oh
with
God.
Allgaier,
Allgaier and
fucking embarrassing.
that was
dude.
embarrassing. Like, so Allgaier goes into 4.
I don't even know.
It was turn 4. That's the one where they have the long straightaway, and then
It's
the
the
braking
same one
zone.
I think Corey wrecked in.
The braking zone is a train wreck of bumps. So Allgaier, like, practice is just getting going. He sails it off in there, doesn't make the corner, and he noses it into the tire barrier. Car had some damage, but probably
Right.
would have
He
been
was like-
fixable.
That turn has tire barriers super protruding on the
Yeah.
entrance of the turn. So he was kind of tucked just past the tire barriers.
Yeah. I think
So
the car
I give him, it was hard to see, but he had been there for like a minute.
30, it was 20, I thought I saw like 27 seconds, which
and
is an
every
eternity.
single person was slowing down, and then this dude, who I'm pretty sure is like a decorated IMSA driver or
I
something.
don't
Yeah,
know.
Alan Day.
Alan
Yeah,
Day.
he's not a bad driver by any means. I put this more on the team. Like,
Yes.
did you not have spotters in practice?
His
What's
spotter
going on?
or his team came out and said that, like, because I think it was another not Joey Gase.
No, that was an Alpha Prime car.
It was an Alpha Prime. One of the, I think Tommy Joe came out, or somebody said something. I forget who tweeted it, but they were like, I was spotting on a different side of the track, and I heard somebody call something out, but I couldn't hear it, so I'm sure the driver couldn't hear it. And I'm like, how do you not hear? And not to mention,
And that was right in
everyone
front of a spotter stand, too.
Everyone around you is, I mean, there's a spotter stand there, but a small team, you don't know if they have spotters everywhere.
Fair.
I think road courses, everyone's got people all over the place. Just because there's a stand there doesn't mean
Fair.
Right. I mean, the Cup guys had up to 5
Yes,
spotters.
but
The Xfinity guy, I mean, it's even on practice, I feel like you should have more than one spotter. At
So
a track like
apparently
this.
it got called out, but they said that they could barely hear it and the driver didn't hear it. But everyone else around you is slowing down. Like the car in front of him tiptoed through that corner, and he just, if he didn't hit Justin, he was going to hit the car in front of him because he was flying.
Cooking.
And he clipped the back of Allgaier's car, shredded it from tail panel to the right rear, that whole quarter panel, and the tail panel and
deck
the trunk
lid,
lid
everything was gone.
And
His
the 45
car can
just
opener to the-
from
to the roll cage.
from the front fender to the rear bumper on the driver's side
Peeled right
just
off.
peeled everything off.
Yeah.
And he didn't have a backup car, so there goes your race.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Weekend over.
Yeah, he said he didn't have a backup car, so they were done right away.
All done.
Sucks for our buddy Brad. Brad Perez was trying to make this race in the 35 car. They went out in practice, had some fuel pump issues, got that fixed. I guess he said they mocked it up for qualifying because there were so many cars in this race. He had to get in on speed. He went P22 and then dropped a cylinder. So that was it for their day. He ended up not even making the race,
Yeah,
which
he
sucks.
unfortunately, he put it in the tire barriers in practice.
He did.
So I'm sure he didn't do that engine any favors when
Yeah.
that happened. Because
Yeah.
what's the first thing you do? You fucking pound the throttle
Yeah.
to get out of the tires. The car was all duct taped together. Unfortunate for him. Unfortunate for our friends over at the History Buffs
Yeah, they were on the
podcast.
deck lid.
They were one of the many companies that contributed to that car.
Yeah, they had a whole
They had
stack
a
of
sticker
stickers on the deck lid.
Yep.
So sad for those guys. I don't put a whole bunch on the team. Obviously, it's a super low funded team. They've had a couple issues this year. I mean, Frankie Muniz has been in the car a couple times. I don't know if he's even qualified yet. They had an engine issue at Portland with that car as well. Sounded like that was a driver error, not a team error. But just
they
it
said-
sucks for Brad.
Tommy Joe came. That was Tommy Joe. He came out. I think it was this morning or yesterday, and said they dropped a valve spring. So after, I'm sure once they got home and took the motor apart, they found the busted valve spring. So that sucks because Brad actually, like I said, he went P22. Like he was only, it was like he posted the picture of the timing and scoring. He was only like 2 seconds off, which sounds like a lot, but
I mean,
Good
there
enough
was a lot of go or go homers
there was
this
a
week.
shit ton.
And he was probably one of maybe 2 or 3 that has had experience on that track.
Yeah.
So he had a bit of an advantage. Unfortunately, they just didn't have the funding behind that car. Do I
So
think
sucks,
make it
but we'll
competitive enough.
we'll see him again hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. To wrap this up, Shane Van Gisbergen obviously takes the checkered flag, followed by Ty Gibbs and Kyle Larson, who are also in the race. Obviously, we talked about Larson a lot. Didn't talk about Gibbs much.
I think Larson
Did
finished
really well.
No, Gibbs finished second.
Nope.
Gibbs got by him?
Gibbs
I
got
thought
by
Larson finished second.
Gibbs did really well in this race as
He
well.
did, yeah.
He was battling up there for quite a bit as well. So nice to see him doing well there. Better do well this weekend, or I'm not going to be a fan of you anymore. You have 5 days to
I hope he doesn't do well
earn my
for
fandom.
many reasons.
Yeah, just kidding. Anyway, Parker Kligerman brings it home fourth. Great race
Good
for
race
PK.
him. Parker is one of those guys that he should be good at road course. He's a road course guy.
Yeah.
And he just
they haven't had the luck in this 48 car.
Yeah.
I love the opportunity he has, but this is a nice breath or fresh air for them.
Yeah.
Breath of fresh air.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, but it sounded wrong.
I
in my
got you.
head.
Jesse Love brings it home 5th. Connor Mosack, Austin Hill, Joey Logano, Justin Allgaier, who we just talked about, starting 36, brings it home 9th. Good recovery for him. And Austin Green brings it home 10th. And the Dinger brings it home 11th. Dinger was Dinger's not having the year, huh?
Qualifying was the one that got me. So he goes out in qualifying. Now, it's AJ Allmendinger at a road course. We've talked about it at length at the beginning of the year, that how awesome is this colleague team going to be watching at road courses with AJ and SVG. And AJ just hasn't been there, and he didn't even make the top 10 in qualifying, and he's on the radio like, I don't know what we have to do with these cars. They suck. Like, he was just sounded defeated.
AJ's average finish this year is 14.6.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
just-
think about his last time in the Xfinity Series. He had like 6 wins, and he was like points leader in the regular season. Goes the Cup for a year, comes back, and he just has nothing.
Yep. I mean, he's still above the cut line. He's sitting 9th right now. 90 points above the cut line, so he's in decent shape, but doesn't sound like he's having a good time. From some of the radio chatter that we were hearing, too, he's just not having fun.
Not having a great time.
And obviously coming from, what did he win, 7-8 times the last year in Xfinity? Ish.
Something, yeah, I forget.
Just to nothing, to Bupkis. Not having a good time. So hopefully they could turn it around for the second half of the season for sure. Cool. All right, we'll head to Sunday.
It rained.
It rained. The Grant Park 165, which obviously was shortened given the weather. All things considered, whatever, we'll take it. Like Dan said, well, we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Didn't affect the entire weekend. Definitely affected the race.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this, I think, last week, maybe the week before, that we actually enjoyed some of the rain from last year because of what it did to the race.
Yes.
We kind of got that. Like, we got the whole weekend in, all the events and everything, but then we got just the race itself affected by rain, which was kind of fun.
Well, and it was crazy because we had,
it was a little too much.
There was
but
different levels. Like, I think Denny said on his podcast, I think they ran like 9 laps on a dry track, and then you had a damp track for a while, and then you had way too wet of a track for a minute,
Yeah.
and then you were back to damp but drying out. And I loved, again, it's a road course versus an oval, but we bitched about it a couple weeks ago. They let the teams be adults.
exactly what I was
They
going to say.
let the big boys choose which pants they were going to wear that day, and it was so cool to see, especially at the end, the varying strategies and who was fast at certain times, and then all of a sudden who was coming and who was going, and it was the best. It was so awesome to see the different strategies, and that's what we've wanted with these wet weather tires. If they handheld them and said, all right, everybody's on wets, okay, now everybody go to dries, like, it wouldn't have been fun. That race wouldn't have been half as entertaining as it was yesterday.
Agree, 100%. So teams are given the opportunity to come to pit road and change tires and retain their starting position to start the race, obviously. So handful started on wets, handful started on slicks.
then,
Cindric, Dillon, LaJoy, Blaney, Truex Jr., Logano, and Zane Smith started the race on wet weather tires.
And then most of them quickly came in to put slicks on.
Except Martin Truex Jr., who gained 14 positions in 2 laps.
Yeah.
Moving.
But there was a lot of them that were pretty quick to come in and put slicks on.
Yeah.
Like, I know, and then we had like lap traffic towards the end of the first stage, like Logano and all those guys that came into pit were all of a sudden lap traffic, and it was like, whoa, what are we doing here? This is awesome.
Which set up the pass at lap 12.
Which pass was that? I don't
SVG and
remember.
Ty Gibbs.
Oh, yes. Yeah, SVG
Yeah,
gets
they
by
got
Ty.
all bottled up there. And SVG used Zabumpa to get by, I think it was
Was the 41.
Logano, the 41, and I think there was one other car. It might have just been
He's
Logano.
up.
on the
Yeah, he
41.
put the bumper to the 41. So they're coming around back to the start finish
Yeah, that was
line.
off the final turn.
And the 41 of Ryan Preece is kind of in the way.
I think
SVG uses the bumper, kind of pushes him wide a little bit, which kind of takes the line a little bit away from Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs tries to go outside. SVG goes inside. They go 3 wide across the start finish line. I think it was awesome.
SVG is getting better at using the bumper, and I'm here for it.
Absolutely. But he's using it strategically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Which
I mean.
is-
That's what I mean. He's getting better at it.
Yeah, he figured it out. He tried it at Coda. A
Didn't work.
little too much there.
Coda's just so unpredictable.
Yeah,
Yep.
but it was an awesome pass and an awesome battle, and that was obviously Ty Gibbs and SVG.
SVG basically.
C Bell
runs-
was involved in that too. Tried to
Yep.
follow SVG through. So I don't know. I just think it was a really good, good end at stage one, which ultimately was taken by Mr. Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yep.
and then
We'll just wrap up the first stage here. Larson finishes. Wait for it. Wait
need the old
for
hold
it.
music back.
Ba-ba-na-na-na. Yeah, SVG takes the first stage, followed by C. Bell, Ty Gibbs, Chase Briscoe, Larson, Bowman, Wallace, Gilliland, Reddick, and Suarez, your points getters in the first stage, because points are starting to become much more important
Yes.
this part of the year. Then we restart for the second stage, and don't make it too far before disaster strikes.
Moist.
Yeah. Which disaster?
Yeah, which one?
We're talking about Briscoe and SVG to start.
Well,
the
so
second.
before that, it started raining, and I still think they should not have gone back out. It was way too wet. Did you see? I posted it in Discord earlier. Briscoe's on board.
See, Martin Truex is on board.
Truex is on. I've been seeing a bunch of onboards, but Briscoe's. It was the proof that he did get into SVG. You can hear it. There was a
Yeah.
lot of people saying he didn't touch him, and the
Sure
onboard,
did.
The onboard don't lie.
You see SVGs, you just see him lurch
Yeah,
forward.
but
Yeah.
the-
He didn't clobber him, but he hit him just enough to change SVG's
But
mile an hour.
when they
By a
get onto
good
that
amount,
straightaway, and like you can see what's going on, and as soon as they get on that straightaway, it is just like you blinded. All you see are flashing lights, and you're just following them, praying that they know where they're going. And you saw Reddick got on the brakes. Briscoe was like a hair late, and it just all the sound just goes away because he's hydroplaning. There's no motor sound. There's no tire sound. He is just sliding forever. And he gets into the back of SVG, who was already in the corner, barely hits him, but hits him enough to basically rocket him forward.
Yeah.
He didn't spin him. He didn't really slide. It just pushed him forward and made him miss the corner, and he clobbered the concrete. I mean, he hit
He
that a ton.
pancaked the side of that car flat.
Yeah, like flat enough to not be able to move anymore.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
just parked it and got out, which sucks. Getting taken out by nothing of your own doing. It's one thing if you Larson it and bury it in the tires by pushing too hard, but to get taken out by somebody else having an issue sucks. But
When you're having a great race.
but I just think they should have brought them in at that point because it was already too wet. It was this reminded me
they did
of,
right after that.
This reminded me of Coda, the first Coda year.
100%.
It reminded me of they were too late to hit the button. And again, I wonder if it's NASCAR not wanting the backload. Oh, you guys can race in this. Nope, that you can't race in that. Not with these tires. Maybe if you had like full wets, but then the spray still would have been an issue. There was way too much water out there. I think Sanchez said it. A couple people said it in Discord yesterday. Like as they're coming to the start of stage 2, somebody was like, "What are they doing?" And they made it one lap, and it was just pure carnage.
Yeah. So they did bring the cars down pit road the next lap. Drivers returned to the cars. It was an hour.
It was like an hour and 40 minutes, hour and
so
35 minutes.
That was the restart where Bowman got into Bubba.
Yes.
And pretty much Bowman restarts, and they're right around 8th, 9th, 10th,
Yep.
wherever around there. His wiper's not working, and I guess we saw the in-cars. If your wiper's not working, add that on top of
To
the
be
spray.
fair, on Briscoe's, the wiper wasn't doing anything. Like
Yeah.
it was moving, but it wasn't doing it. The
Right,
Rain-X
but
was
if
doing all the work.
your wiper's not working, you're thinking that's going to help you. And Bowman said the reason why he missed that turn with Bubba was he was panicking trying to get his wiper
He was
to
trying to
work,
turn it on and off.
and
Yeah.
he just slid it on. I think it was Skip or Corey or somebody's like, there's so much paint on the
Yeah.
track right there. It was super easy to lock the tires up in that corner. And Bowman he just hit the brakes a little late.
Yeah.
They were side by side. I don't think he was trying to make a dive bomb.
Oh, he wasn't.
They were already side by side.
Yeah, he wasn't.
And he just locked up the tires. He said he locked all four up.
Yep.
And it got into Bubba. And I hate that everyone's like, oh, he ruined Bubba's race. It's like, no, they were battling for like 10th, and Bubba finished 12th.
Yeah.
That's not ruining somebody's race. That's hurting their race and making their race more difficult. But ruining somebody's
Is
race
what happened to SVG.
is what Chase Briscoe did to SVG.
Yes.
That ruined SVG's race.
Yep.
Bubba's race got more difficult.
Slightly
it was
hampered.
not ruined.
Yeah.
And that's where my opinion lies on that.
And I feel bad
Yeah.
because, Bowman obviously after the race said what he said. But even in the rain delay, did you hear him in the rain delay? They were talking to him up on his pit box, and he was like, I want to apologize to the 23 guys. I'm so embarrassed. Like, I didn't mean to hit him. I hate that I did that. Like, he was already feeling it. at that point.
Yeah,
he was
supposedly he called and texted him during it.
And we know how Bowman is. Bowman is kind of much like us, where, well, me, like with a little bit of that anxiety, like don't want to piss anybody off kind of thing. Like,
Right, and you also got to think of their history.
They
That
have a
is
history.
something Bowman has probably been like the whole Denny thing
Yeah.
with Denny and him at Martinsville. That fucking ruined Bowman's celebration.
Yes.
Like that was in his head the entire time. He couldn't celebrate Martinsville.
Yeah.
He's been rebuilding this relationship with Bubba over the course of these 5-6 years. Whenever that Charlotte incident
Yeah.
happened,
It was a while ago.
and in his mind, he's like, I've gotten to a good place with him, and now this just ruined that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think he was honest with that, and he was. I mean, obviously, you got to put your helmet back on and go racing.
Yeah.
But like I said before, it's one thing if you flat out dump somebody and total their car.
Yeah.
That is ruining somebody's race. They are pissed. Spinning somebody out when it's pouring fucking rain. I said this last week at New Hampshire.
Yeah.
I think it was Blaney or
It was
Hamlin.
the McDowell one.
Yeah, somebody was like rip shit that somebody spun, or it was when Noah spun out. Like, why the hell would Noah even try that move? It's like, it's fucking pouring rain.
Yep.
You can't get that mad at somebody for missing a braking zone or spinning out or hydroplaning when it's pouring rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could be gutted, you know, that you were running well and now you lost a handful of spots, but
Good usage.
it's
of,
raining
go ahead.
and yeah, it's raining. You know, shit happens. He's fucking with his wiper. Is that an excuse? No. He still ran into you. He still hurt you, but I don't think it merits what happens later
No,
on.
inevitably he locked up his tires in the rain and bumped you.
Right.
And you spun out.
Right.
Maybe you got a little bit of damage, but obviously it wasn't that much because you came back.
Yeah. So we finally get back to racing, and before things get back to green, all the teams are informed pre going back to the race that the race will end at 8:20 local time, which was an hour and 5 minutes from then.
Apparently
when
they
were
had said that earlier, but I know the broadcast really said it during the rain delay.
I think Skip
Denny-
said, they said like in stage one, they're like, hey, by the way,
Yeah.
or DBC or somebody said, hey, by the way, this race is official at 8:20 no matter what
Denny
happens.
said, because one of the guys on his show was like, "Oh, they said it in the rain delay," and he goes, "No, we knew earlier."
And
than
I
that.
I think that is the best thing that NASCAR has done.
Right, but it's also so fucking stupid that the slightest rain delay they had at the beginning of the race made them immediately go like, hey, by the way, the countdown clock's 8:20.
You got to remember
That shows you how fucking late they're starting these races.
Yeah, but you got to
Yeah.
remember they can't push it with this because the city streets were due to open back up at 7 a.m. They knew what they had to do to get it back. Wait, they can't push it. Not to mention, I mean, you saw how dark it was during the celebrations after the
Yeah.
race. They couldn't have pushed it much farther past 8:20. And I would much rather this than what we witnessed at New Hampshire, where it was the ending time was TBD, and then they go, "All right, 5 laps to go," and it's like
Right,
you can't
because this
you
was a
can't
set city curfew.
No, it wasn't.
I thought it was a city curfew.
Nope, this wasn't a curfew or nothing. This was just that was their time.
Oh,
I
okay.
read this somewhere that was just that had nothing to do with the city. That was NASCAR going. We'll still have enough daylight, and we'll still have enough time to rip all this shit down in time for 7:00 Monday morning when we're supposed to open these streets back up. So that was a NASCAR imposed time. That had nothing to do with the city. I
Okay,
read that.
I thought it was a city imposed
I read
curfew.
it somewhere last night because somebody else was like, "Oh, the fucking city," and I think it was Gluck or Bob was like, "No, this is not the city."
Either way, this race better start at noon next year.
Oh, what I loved
4:00 local time
is stupid.
is so dumb.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I mean, I want to get into the start times because, like,
No,
75
this is egregious.
Se-
Like
well,
4:00 local
yeah.
time.
But 75% of this country has afternoon thunderstorms in the summertime. And when do they usually show up? 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And when it gets its most hot and humid, and then those storms roll through. I mean, we've lived it our whole lives in New England. We see it. We'll probably see it in Pocono next week. There's already forecasts for thunderstorms on a couple of the days. Everywhere in this country, except for probably like the Pacific Northwest and the Southeast, have afternoon thunderstorms. I hate it. Why? Like, I was thinking back. Yeah, we had rain delays and rain outs when I was a kid when we used to start the races at noon, but not this many.
They just
Yeah,
put themselves.
No, I was
Oh, okay. You,
agreeing with
yeah,
They just put themselves in way too small of a window.
it is. It's such
You-
a
we
small
go to-
box.
no window to make
Yeah, go to Charlotte and tell them no matter what, you have 4 hours to complete this race.
Yeah.
Never mind, go to Pocono. You have 4 hours to complete this race. That's not enough time anywhere. Go to Chicago. This is a temporary racetrack. one accident could shift a wall.
Yep.
Somebody spins out, hits a concrete barrier,
Look at how long-
fucks it up. Now we got to bring a forklift halfway around the track.
Look at
to
how
fix
long
that
it
wall.
took them to fix the tires after Larson wrecked them. I was
Yeah.
listening to it on the radio, and Moody was right there, and he's like, they have to reorganize all these tires. They have to put the paneling back on. Like, we're going to be here for a minute, you know?
Yeah.
And
just a 4 hour and 20-minute window from the exact moment they plan on starting the race is not enough time for a cup race.
it's not, dude, me and Kyle were just talking about it. I mean, I know it's the truck race. It's only 70 laps, but the truck race doesn't start till 5:30 at Pocono this week.
Yeah.
Like, it just, I mean, I love that because golden hour, but these cup races, like when we were kids and it was noon, 1 o'clock starts, we didn't see this many rain affected races. And now I feel like this is what this week, Nashville, was that rain affected? Yeah. Nashville was rain affected. Loudon.
Hampshire. So 3
We're
weeks
3 weeks in a row,
At least.
of rain affected races.
Not to
and-
mention first 2 races of the year were rain affected. The Clash and Daytona.
Yeah, it's just like all these races are, and if you start them at noon, it's a 4-hour race. You're finishing right. You at least get to halfway. We can.
I
At least,
get it. The fucking
It's
city
all about the-
shots at the end of that day
Oh, we're sick.
are perfect. You want the shots of them
got-
coming over that bridge with headlights and the train lit up in the background and the city windows lit up. I get it. You want those shots, but it's now been 2 years where you put us in such a small window that we need to
It's got
shorten the
nothing
length
to do
of an
with the
already
shots.
way too short race.
Unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with the shots. It's all TV. That is a window. They've done all their studies that if they start the race at noon or 1, they get less viewers than if they started at 3 or 4. That's why we've gone the last however many years to the 3 o'clock starts, because like Ricky just said, in the NASCAR bends over backwards to its TV partners. If TV says jump and NASCAR says how high, if they say start it at 5 and run it for 2 hours before it gets dark, that's what they're going to do.
No, they don't say how high. They just say, okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Please
Go
show
deep.
our-
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
all
but-
TV, and that's that. They've done their studies that the ratings window right there, it's close to prime time, which, don't get me wrong, like the later start times are great if you're doing stuff on Sunday. Like if you're doing shit in the morning and then you can get home in the afternoon and watch the race, it's great. But you're right, it puts every race is in such a small box, especially when you're talking about tracks that don't have lights or a temporary street course that has to be taken the fuck apart. You know what? You want to go to any of these tracks with lights and do a 3 o'clock start, but you say, but you can
It
get
should
through-
be 1 or a night race.
Yeah. Well, and
3:30, 4:30, 5:30, dumb.
like it worked at Nashville because Nashville had lights. So, and it was a quick passing storm, and then they were able to get the rest of the race in, right? But you go to a Loudon. I mean, that race should not be starting at 3 o'clock because we all know living up here, that's when storms happen in the summer. If it's 85 and humid, we're going to have fucking thunderstorms halfway through the afternoon. You start that race at noon or 1 o'clock, we'll at least be to halfway, probably 3/4 of the race before it starts pouring. And then you have time. If it's a quick thunderstorm, okay, it's over. It's 4 o'clock. We can dry the track real quick and finish this race. But if you started at 3, you barely get to halfway. You have a quick thunderstorm roll through. Well, it's 7:30, 8 o'clock. We barely have enough light now. Well, look at what happened at Loudon. We barely had enough light to finish that race.
Yeah.
They just back themselves into such a window. They get continuously fucked.
Yeah, agreed. All right, we'll keep rolling here. We get back to green, and our boy Kyle Larson pushing a little too hard.
One, I did want to say, though, I think I said this before, but I did love that they told them the time early so everybody could strategize.
That's what I was going to say.
Because that Loudon race a couple years ago when they were like, I remember like on the broadcast, they were like, all the crew chiefs are down here. Like, when are we ending this? Like, it's getting dark. And NASCAR was like, I don't know. We might be able to make it. No,
Yeah.
about 5 laps to go. And
We'll-
no one
we'll
could
tell you when.
No
Like,
one
no.
could make strategy calls. At least they knew 8:20. They knew that early in the race. They knew, okay, if we get close, now we have to do that. Instantly, their war rooms are crunching the numbers. All right, if we go full green flag, that means we're going to run X amount of laps, most likely,
All right,
whatever.
but we're on the wet, so the lap times will be this. But
Exactly.
we're going to use this much gas. So it was super cool to see the strategy, and both strategies almost worked.
Yeah.
I will say the one problem I had, it worked out being a Bowman fan, but the one problem I had with this end of this race was there should not have been a yellow for the end of stage 2.
Well, we'll get there. We're before that.
Yeah, but
Kyle's.
we're coming to that because
Yeah.
we're going back green.
But Larson fucking smoked the wall. I was listening to the radio, and they made it sound like he pushed the motor into the fucking footwell.
Well, he hit concrete.
Yeah, he went through the tire barrier.
Because he hit the very end of the tire barrier between the wall and the concrete.
Yeah, he barely kissed Ty Gibbs' bumper, and I think that just sent him off course just enough that his passenger front tire just buried the concrete wall. He moved that wall a good amount.
Yeah, I was saying that when you left, that Moody was right there, because I was listening to MRN at this point, and he was like, I guess his perch was right over it. Like, this all happened underneath him. And he was like, yeah, they got to get machinery over here because the tire pack has moved, the wall
Concrete
has moved,
yeah.
everything. So, and at this point, we're all watching the clock. So he's like, well, this might be a minute, you know?
Yeah.
Larson tried to drive it back to the pits, but didn't make it.
Larson did not want to.
Oh, really?
Cliff Daniels is like, no, bring that back to the pits. And Larson's like, no, I'm pretty sure it's done. They're like, no, do not get out of that car. Drive it back to the pits.
Oh,
and
I didn't hear
Larson
any of
made
that.
it like 2 more corners. He's like, this thing's fucked.
Yeah. I didn't hear any of that.
But yeah, we get to the end of stage 2, which they do throw the caution for.
I disagree with that. I mean, you can't change. I get it.
You can't change it in the middle of the
rules in the
race.
middle of the race, but like,
You're
just
coming
wasted
back
so much
yeah,
time.
but you came back from the rain with an hour left.
Yeah.
There was an hour on the clock when they came back from the rain delay.
Yep.
You need to look at that and go, we're running 90-second laps. We have this many laps to go. There's no way we could do this if there's even one caution. We can't make the full
I also
race.
I want your guys' opinion on this. Did yesterday's caution feel like Loudon cautions that were way too long for no reason whatsoever?
Yeah, they held those for a while.
Yeah.
Near the end, I could have held them on a little longer, to be honest.
True. But there was a couple of them where I'm like, what are we still doing running pace laps? Like, let's go.
Yeah.
You know?
So Joey Hand takes the second stage, followed by Bowman, Kozlowski, Hocevar, and Truex Jr., your top 5. Noah Gragson, Daniel Hemrick, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Harrison Burton, and Denny Hamlin, your point skaters in the second stage.
If that top 10 sounds weird, it's because Seabell and Ty Gibbs were driving away with this race. They were leaving everybody in the dust. And a few cars came in to put slicks on with, I think, 3 to go.
They were in like the 18th to 20th. It
Yeah.
was like Chase Elliott, Kyle Busch.
Yeah.
Like
With
McDowell.
with
Like
3
there
to
was like
go.
a bunch of cars in the back that pitted, and the leader's like, we need to pit
Yeah,
now.
3 to go, a bunch of guys came in, and the radio was like, and pit road's going to close when the leader crosses the, oh, wait, nope, they're all coming in. Like, a whole
Top
shit
6,
ton of people
I'd say 6 or 7.
peeled off to get on slicks, and the Joey Hand, out that whole top 10, I think the whole top 11 or 12 stayed out on the wets. So it flip-flopped the whole field. Like, it just flipped everything over.
I was getting pissed at NBC during this because their fucking ticker on the left side kept messing up. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Bowman stayed out. And I'm like, we're like all talking about it in the Discord. And I'm like, I think staying out's the right call. I don't think it's ready for dries yet. And like the ticker kept changing. It'd be like Joey Hand, and then everything below it was just flipping all around.
And then it was funny because under the stage caution, MRN was like, all right, we're going to go down to our pit reporters because it's about to be a really busy place down there. And everybody stayed out, and they were all baffled. They were like, what? Huh? Like they were thinking everybody was just flipping the stage. And then they realized what they were doing. And MRN was like, you know, they talked to Moody, and he's like, it's still wet down here by me. And then they went to somebody else, and he's like, it's kind of damp, but it's not. So they all of a sudden went into the strategy call of, is this smart? Is this not smart?
They played a lot of the leaders' radio communications, and a lot of them quickly said, like, hey, we're staying out here. We're going to run the wets. Bowman's, I did not love, because it was one of those situations we talked about with Haley earlier. Like the crew chief's like, Blake Harris is like, all right, I think this is the right call. What do you want to do? And it's like, that's not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Like when I'm a driver in a situation like this, I want you to be like, we're staying out on wets because that's going to win us the race.
Well,
I don't want you to hit my radio up and be like, so what do you think?
I get it.
Yeah, I want an answer.
I guess Chad Knaus was big in Blake's ear on this.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, oh, Blake Harris, dude, he made the call, the race, and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure Joe Sanchez posted on Discord, like, the communication. It was Chad's like, no, you should stay out on the wets. And Blake Harris like, okay, let's stay out on the wets.
I'm not mad about him asking, though, because he's now asking his driver how the track is. Do you think...
Yeah.
Like,
how do you feel about
it? If he
it?
goes, we're going to stay out on wets, and Bowman keys up the mic and goes, bro, it's dry.
Yeah.
They're going to come in. But...
Yeah.
But just that little
WF
indecision.
Professor also said that Fox does a better job with the ticker. I will give them a pass on this weekend's ticker because it's not one of their courses.
The Xfinity ticker's still horrible with NBC. So
yeah, well, I'm with this one. There's no timing
no
loops
scoring
and stuff like
loops,
that.
yeah.
And if they are, they're temporarily put up. So
and everything
whatever.
got wet. Like even MRN yesterday, Moody's
Yeah.
mic shit out for like the whole last stage. They kept trying to go to Moody and there was just silence.
Yeah, that was the one complaint I had with the broadcast. As far as, I mean, the camera angles weren't great, but it's a street course. I don't expect the best camera angles. But the ticker at the end of stage 2, it was just, it kept, the names just
Refreshing.
kept moving and changing. And they were like
Yeah.
Bowman being second, and then it showed Bowman behind Bell, and then Kyle Busch would be in second, and then Kyle Busch was in 18th. I'm like, what is it? Because
Yeah.
I want to know what my driver that I'm rooting for, I want to know what their strategy is. And right now, I cannot tell you if they pitted or they stayed out.
I'll give MDC a lot of credit on this to get that timer up, because obviously
the
that was not
timer?
the plan. And this is
Someone
something.
had
This is the
s-
first time they've ever really done that.
Someone went to town on the programming,
which
and
I think unbelievable kudos to NASCAR for, one, letting them choose at the beginning,
Yep.
two, giving them enough time to strategize with, all right, this is going
This
to
is our
end
cutoff.
at this time, do what you have to. That doesn't throw anyone's strategy off. They did a fantastic job with that.
Yep.
And NBC getting that ticker to function,
Yep.
like the timer countdown to function.
They dropped it for
the-
a couple laps, and I was like, because they showed it at the end of the red when they were coming to green and stuff, and I was like, all right, sweet, we're gonna have the timer, and then they took it off the screen for like 3 laps, and I was like, yo, we want the timer
So-
back. We need to know, and then
Yeah.
like they brought it
From
back
like a
pretty
half
quick.
hour down,
But
it was.
will
I don't
say
think it
my
moved.
favorite thing NBC did was when they were on doing the onboards. It said the turn number at the bottom of the screen. I was like, that's fucking sick.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say the other side of this because I listened to the basically from when they restarted after the rain delay till I got home was the end of the race. So I listened to the whole end of the race on the radio. We talk about MRN all the time, about MRN and PRN, how they make the race sound so exciting. Add in a fucking countdown clock. Insane.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I'm listening to it and they're talking about the Joey Hand and the Alex Bowman battle and
Which was fantastic.
And then
The
they
end of the stage 2 battle when Bowman was chasing him down, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, you got to use the bumper
But-
here, and he didn't.
But when Bowman passes him eventually, and you're like, "Oh, Alex Bowman sends it in deep," and he gets the lead, and he gets the lead, and there's 10:36 left. They kept going to the timer, and I'm driving, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is awesome.
They were
Like,
killing it.
The MRN did an unbelievable job because they kept referencing the count. It sounded like I was waiting for a bomb to go off.
Yeah,
like
'cause
it was so cool.
I was obviously, like I talked about, I was fixing the house, so I was listening to MRN at the beginning, and then I went back and went to sit downstairs, sat at the TV, and I just left MRN running. So I
Yeah.
listened to MRN while watching the broadcast. Fantastic job.
Broadcast was
Like
fantastic.
take the excitement that MRN usually gives you, which we've talked about on here a ton. It was up like tenfold with the countdown clock because they kept going. They're referencing it like they would go like almost. It felt like every 45 seconds. They're like, okay, and Alex Bowman stretching it out with 8:42 left, and then he's up 15 cars with 7:36. It was wild.
And this is also my one of 3 opportunities a year to say put Mike Bagley in a broadcast booth.
Oh my
Please
god,
and thank you.
He's so good.
He's fucking incredible.
It actually made the MRN broadcast worse because that guy that they had in his place, I didn't like him.
No,
There was somebody.
Bagley is unbelievable.
There was a voice I've never heard before. Didn't love him.
I
Don't know
love
who
the
it was.
words that he throws in there, and he shellacks the
Yeah.
tire barriers.
Yeah, he's the best.
Bagley's the
I
fucking
also
man.
think Dylan Welch did a great job.
Dylan
He
Welch
did a
did a
very
great
good
job.
job.
I think
Yeah,
he did a great job.
absolutely.
But
Kudos.
I had, like I said, my one complaint with the whole broadcast, the entire race, was just the ticker at the end of stage 2. I don't know what NBC was doing. They were having trouble
But-
with it for a lap. And it
So
was
Bagley, when he gets on TV, he reminds me when years ago the Red Sox brought the radio guy into the TV booth. They over describe everything, but it makes it awesome.
Oh, it's
because they're
unbelievable.
used to having to do radio stuff where you have to describe what you're seeing to people that can't see.
Yeah, that's why they call it radio style.
Well, no, what I'm saying is then when they go on TV, when those guys that do radio broadcasts go on TV, they forget that everyone can see what's going on, so they still over describe everything, and then you get he shellacks the wall.
Oh,
you
it was
get those,
awesome.
You get those overemphasized.
The
and I
extra
love it.
adjectives.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love that
I also
shit.
love the broadcasters being in the turns because I felt like they were so much quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday watching the race, like I feel like even when they're in the booth at the track, there's a delay to everything.
Yeah,
Like even they're not
They're watching
in
the monitors.
Charlotte watching TV. There's a delay there. They're at the track in the press box or the TV booth, and there's a delay just because it's 1 across the track, 2 they're watching a monitor to cover the distance. But at the track, Jeff Burton be like, "Oh, and the 12 car's loose off the nose of the 8
Yeah.
car," and they cut, and it's happening.
Yeah.
And you're like, hell yeah! Like this is play by play in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. aspect
unbelievable
of it,
job.
too.
But yeah, let's paint the picture at the end. Obviously, Bowman gets around Joey Hand, sails off into the sunset, and then Tyler Reddick starts coming into the
I
picture.
wanted to throw in, though, that pass, Bowman set him up the lap
I thought Bowman was
before.
going to bury the wall.
So Bowman tried this move the lap before, but he realized, so he gets a run off of, I forget which corner it was, onto one of the long straightaways, and he was setting him up, and he
I
realized,
want to
like,
say that's what is that?
he was trying to set him up.
Seven, maybe?
Maybe. He was trying to set him up, and he realized, like, halfway down the straightaway that he wasn't going to be there, so he backed off. But then the next lap, he got the run he needed, and he fucking sailed it off in there. And I watched the replay, and I'm the same
it's
way.
7 because I think it's right after 6. They take the left, and then it's that tight tunnel.
Maybe.
I think that's where it was. I
But-
could be wrong.
But, you know, they on the radio, they're like, he sails it in there. And then I saw the replay, and I'm like, how did he make that
Bro,
stick?
on TV, and he drives off the screen.
Yeah.
When he makes the pass, I was like, the next cut's gonna be him buried
in the
the
tires,
concrete.
yeah. So he gets
Because
around.
he went in there, I was like, Bowman's fast.
Yeah.
And then he just stuck it and powered out. I was like,
yeah.
that was impressive.
So Bowman gets around him, and I mean, he drives away. He was, again, on the radio.
3-6, I think. in
For a
front of
couple
him.
laps, they're like, Joey Hand was staying close, but then all of a sudden, there's an update from Moody, and he's like, he's 20 car lengths ahead of him. So we're driving home, and it was funny listening to the radio because obviously when you get down to 3 minutes left, that's when the brain switch flips off on everybody, and it's like we're listening to the radio, and every other cut is, oh, and such is in the wall, and so is in the wall, and they're in the tire, and so Steph doesn't really have a driver, but she really likes Bowman because dogs. And she's like, I think it was the third or fourth time they're like, and when Denny goes on she's like, Jesus Christ, guys, because she doesn't want a caution. She's like, enough.
I
And-
wanted a caution with 5 minutes to go. If there's a caution,
True.
the race is over.
So, but she was like losing her mind. But yeah, so Reddick was on one of the cars that came in and got slicks where they all went nowhere for the first little bit of the final run there. I think at one point they came in and said like Ty Gibbs had gained 1 spot. Seabell was up like 3 or 4. And then what was it? Was it within that 2 laps? So the countdown clock hit 0. That's 2 to go right there.
Well, Seabell wrecked.
true.
Unfortunate for them. He was moving. He was quick, but I think he was pushing the issue a little too
Yeah.
hard. And they came off of 5, I think, before the long straightaway. And the 2 cars in front of him kind of check up, and Seabell tries to make it 3 wide on the inside. And it was Truex, and I don't remember who was next to Truex. It ends up turning Truex into Seabell's quarter and just turns him in front of people and gets buried.
But out of nowhere, and it was funny. I watched the replay last night. NBC doesn't even notice Truex or Reddick's coming until all of a sudden he's in the shot, and they're like, "Oh, what?" Tyler Reddick.
And he was coming fast.
He was
2 seconds a lap.
He was 2 seconds a lap faster than Bowman. They got,
And that was, I think, well passing somebody.
yeah. So the countdown clock goes to 0. There's 2 laps to go. All of a sudden, Reddick is charging, and he pushes it a little too hard in turn 5 on the last lap. Catches the inside wall. Doesn't like wreck the car or anything, but it
Scrubs so much
scrubbed
speed off
so
the
much
car.
speed off. I'm sure it handled like shit for the rest of that lap too, because he hit it pretty good. I mean,
Well, he
I'm
hit the
sure-
inside wall, and then he hit the outside wall.
Yeah,
I'm sure he bent something on the right
I'm
front.
sure he bet something.
But he passes Joey Hand coming to the countdown clock. And after the countdown clock, it was a green, white checker. It was 2 to go. I thought, and I'm surprised, I'm happy to know, I guess, that I'm not alone. I thought once the countdown clock ended, it was white flag.
I did too.
And I guess everyone was like, they said on TV that they said countdown clock ends and then it's 2 to go. I thought it was countdown clock ends and the next flag is white.
See, that's what I thought too.
And I guess that's what a lot of the spotters
Yeah.
thought. And I guess NASCAR, I listened to a little bit of DBC, and Freddie said, all right, countdown clock hit 0. You're coming to the white. All right, guess it's not white. Oh, now it's white. And it's like, there's 2 more laps.
My thought was if you're, let's say you're at turn 10, you got, a couple turns to go. You're in turn 10, clock's 0, then you're going to take the white flag.
Right.
And
if
like-
you're like just starting that lap, clock ends, you'll go all the way around
That's-
and then the 0.
Well, and like John Borst just said, that's because that's how the clock works in every other racing series. Like you watch 24 Hours Daytona, clock hits 24. If you're just past the line, you're going to go all the way around again, then get the white.
yeah. If you that's what I thought.
The
Like
next-
if he's not even in 1 and clock ends,
The clock
next
hit-
time is
the
white.
clock hit
Yes.
0 when he was in like turn 11.
Yeah, it should have been. I thought.
Yeah,
it
so
was,
he did like 2 and a
So
third.
I was still listening to the radio, and they're like, And the clock's hit 0. So now there's the next, now there's 2 laps to go. And I was like, huh? Like, what do you mean? It's not the white flag?
I thought it had to be a full and then whatever's left.
Yeah, that was
One
weird.
full lap. So, like, clock's 0. You're right there. It's like, all right, it's not the next flag.
Next time you cross the
Yeah.
line, it should be
Right.
white.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
was
I thought. But it was he crossed the line. They're like, and it's 2 to go. I was like, that's kind of
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
weird.
But
But
whatever,
it was-
it's the first time they've done this. So
Yeah.
I think overall it went fine.
Tyler Reddick
yeah.
passes Joey Hand coming to the 2 to go. They're 3.7, 3.6 seconds
He was
behind
almost
Bowman,
damn near 4
and
seconds
he's
back.
2 seconds a lap faster.
Yep.
So in 2 laps, he should catch him.
Yep.
And he was. It went from a straightaway to he was 3 car lengths behind him when he fucked up.
Yep.
And it was, I don't know, and they pointed this out on DBC, and I thought the same thing. I don't know if he passes him. He should, because
But
he's
he-
that much faster.
But he gets there.
But you get to Bowman's bumper, and what's Bowman going to do? He's going to put his car in the dry. The second you catch him, he's going to get the dry line. So now you have to pass him on the wet part of the track.
yeah.
On
I
slicks.
don't know if that was going to be an easy situation for
And
Tyler.
we don't know
Obviously,
if-
he catches him, he's that much faster, he's going to ship him.
We also don't know if Bowman was laying off, too.
Bowman said for the last 2 laps he was all the way on.
Okay. Yeah. But either way, Alex Bowman sails it off to take the checkered flag. His first win in what? 80 laps? 80 races, I should say.
2022, he won Las Vegas, which was what 5th race of the year, something like
that. Yeah.
So super, super happy for him. Well deserved, in my opinion. Obviously, some strategy played into this, but hey, whatever, you win, you win.
They've had
Well-
a rough go of it, but he had a very solid first half of the year.
Yeah.
And then the last 5 weeks, he's had nothing but
I
problems.
wanted to bring this up. It was actually a surprise to me, given their history. On Denny's show today, very high praise of Alex, because he said the same thing. He's like, I saw people saying that he lucked his way into a win because of strategy. He goes, you guys don't know what you're talking about. He was one of the fastest cars in practice.
100%.
He finished 6th in stage 2 or 1.
6th in stage 1,
second in stage 1. And he goes, and he's like, you don't win. If you're up there, this is what happens. Like, he was up there. He goes, even without the strategy, he goes, Alex Bowman was going to be a car to beat this weekend. He goes, that kid drove his ass off. He was good there last year, but they said he had a mechanical problem
He
or
blew
something.
up last
he blew
year.
up last
battling
year.
Denny, I think, for like 9th or 10th.
Yeah, that's what Denny said. He goes, I remember him blowing up last year. He's like, and I was sitting there listening to it, and I'm like, all I can think of in my head is, he's just a hack. And then the whole burnout thing. And I'm like, all right, Denny's giving credit where credit's due.
No one really talks about Bowman on road courses, but you got to think the Ross Chastain battle at Coda, he was right there. Like, he's usually
he's been
real
very
close.
good on road courses in the next gen. He wasn't a Gen 6 road course guy.
No.
Throwback to him and Bubba wrecking each other for 25th at the Roval.
Yeah.
But the next gens, we've seen a flip in the drivers that are good in next gens at road courses.
Yeah.
Kyle Larson, ever since Hendrick, he's been good at everything. But like William Byron, he wasn't a road course guy in Gen 6. Alex Bowman wasn't a road course guy in Gen 6. Bubba Wallace, Corey LaJoy, these guys weren't anywhere in the conversation in Gen 6s. Chase Elliott, Allmendinger, these guys were good at road courses in Gen 6s. Next gen, now Chase
Different
Elliott
story.
and Allmendinger battling for 18th.
Yeah.
In Corey LaJoy's qualifying in the top 10
I was saying, how many
multiple
times has
at
Corey
road
made the
courses.
top 10 on these
Bubba
road
is
courses?
battling top 10 every time we go to road courses.
Joe put in the chat, he did luck out that SVG wrecked and Larson wrecked. Yes, I
I'm
will
actually-
agree with that
Yeah,
those two
you
were up
say
there to
that,
have that
but I'm really-
conversation,
At the
but
same time, would
I
they
would
have-
love to talk.
Would they have made the same pit strategy as Seabell?
We don't know.
Well, I'm
So
actually
you-
very surprised Joe didn't say that Chastain wrecked, too.
Yeah, fucking Chastain, dude.
All right, to wrap it up, Alex Bowman takes a checker flag, followed by Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, Joey Hand, and McDowell bring it home for your top 5 and Dan the victory. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Todd Gilliland, William Byron, Kyle Busch, and Ryan Blaney, your
Sure.
top 10.
How did Ricky Stenhouse Jr. end up in the top 10?
No idea.
Stayed out?
I thought he wrecked with Denny in the last, last
Shouts
run.
to
He did.
He did, but he saved it.
It was a
yeah.
while before, I guess.
So shouts to Gilliland. He was up there all day. He is quietly having an unbelievable season for him.
He just moved into the top 20 in points, I
Yep.
think.
Shouts to Joey Hand. I know that was a lot of pit strategy, but he hung in there. Won a stage.
Yeah,
Not that it
looked
means
great.
anything, but he looked really good. Awesome. I mean, I thought that
After
top 10
starting
was great.
38th.
Yeah, exactly.
Great race.
That's another one of those teams that you may have the speed as a driver, but because it's a part-time team, you're at a disadvantage.
Also, I'd like to bring up what the hell was the difference with Chicago's pit road and Loudon's pit road? Why could we have competitive pit stops on a soaked pit road there and not at
Hey,
Loudon?
they
But
did it. We're not complaining.
I'm not. I'm just.
Yeah, until they had to exit.
Oh God, what was that?
Somebody hit the brakes and stopped.
Well,
So
no, that's
the
because the
rule
safety
was-
trucks were going
No,
by.
they had to wait for the pack to go by. There was all the wave around cars going by.
Oh.
So no matter what, the leaders had to stop to wait for the pack to go by. It's like, dude, that's a wide part of the track. Just fucking come out
Funnel.
together and just eventually get
Dude,
behind.
that was we were sitting there. I was still watching it on TV at that point, and even Steph goes, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah.
like Reddick smoked Bubba. He
He
hit him
hit him
hard.
pretty good.
Put a hole in the nose.
Yeah. So then we get the cool down lap shenaniganry. Obviously, we talked about Bowman getting into Bubba and spinning him out earlier in the race, and he talks in the rain delay about how he's embarrassed, and he calls and texts Bubba and all that. And so Bowman wins the race. They're going around the cool down lap. Bowman's got his window net down, assuming probably loosen the belts, we would have to assume at that point.
Yeah.
And Bubba pulls up next to him and just doors him into the concrete barrier.
Which
Bo-
he like jumps up and onto the concrete. Like,
Bowman's car jumped.
the
Like, it
roof
went-
cam didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
But when they initially showed the in car, Bowman got rocked.
yeah, he got rocked. So that
You see the in car, and he's like throwing his hands up, like, "What the hell?"
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
but like his hand was on his helmet. He was adjusting his helmet. He was wiping sweat off his eyes. Like he
Sweat or
was doing.
tears?
He was doing. Yeah, who knows? But he was like in the car. It's the cool down lap, and he just gets rocked. And that's another one of the things I mentioned earlier with the concrete walls. It's like these walls move,
yeah,
and you're gonna door somebody into these concrete walls. We could have had a Justin Haley at the Clash incident.
yeah.
Like it's not a smart move, and everyone. I mean, obviously, Psycho Bob, big anything Toyota fan. He was quick to point out that Richmond with Truex. Obviously, we had Chase and Suarez doing the same thing.
Yeah, that came out
The
today.
biggest difference I see is you finish a race at Richmond Dover, and you're door banging, and then you come around turn 2 and you're door banging more. That's 15 seconds after you cross the line. You're still completely in race mode, and you're now door banging coming to pit road. Okay, that's egregious, but it's whatever. At a road course, he crossed the line 2.5, 3 minutes ago. There's a lot of time. They both had their window nets down. That's
Yeah.
a lot of time to loosen your belts. You're doing this. You're waving your hands out the window. You're waving to the fans and stuff
mean-
like that. That's a lot more time than a Dover or Richmond to door somebody.
What
after
scared
the race.
what scared me is imagine if Alex had his hand out the window waving to the crowd.
Right now, yeah.
And he
guess
goes
what?
into
It's
the
in the catch
fence.
fence.
Guess what? Yeah, it's in the catch fence now because he hit him into the wall.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think
It's dangerous.
It's dangerous. There's a lot of people that obviously because Bubba did it, a lot of people acting like he murdered him. I mean, it's dangerous. I think Bubba should get some sort of pee-pee whack for it.
Yeah.
I don't think it escalates to the Hocevar level.
Yeah, he's not getting suspended. He's
No.
not. Probably won't even get points fines.
I saw
But
so many people. He should be suspended.
I
blah,
think
blah, blah.
a monetary fine
monetary fine is fine.
is enough to go, hey, this is not acceptable behavior.
Yeah.
And I get it. It happens at other tracks, but this is such an isolated incident,
Yeah.
or it's such a different situation.
Is it though? He was suspended for wrecking someone on purpose before.
Right, but I'm not saying.
right
I'm
hooking
just
somebody at
saying
180.
because of the track, the type.
Still, he's got the history.
True. We'll see. And then it comes out today, the fuzzy Zapruder film on board of Chase and Suarez. I don't know if you saw that
Oh, yeah.
today. So
I still don't know which one should be mad at the other one.
they both wrecked each other coming to the checkers. I think Chase is probably more pissed because he moved Suarez and then Suarez spun his ass.
Right.
Suarez,
Chase moved him a lot,
yeah.
and Chase pushed him out of the way, doored him, and then cut his nose off to clear to make it into the corner, and Suarez punted him into that corner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you're gonna do that, like that's the rule. You hit somebody, you better run away fast enough that they can't hit you back.
Yeah.
You doored him and then sliced his nose into a braking zone. What did you think he's gonna do?
Yeah. So
Yeah, but that was cool down lap as well.
well, no.
Well,
This was
coming
this
to
was
the
coming to the checkers.
Coming to the checkers.
Oh,
Then they got together. Chase
then-
caught back
right.
up.
Right. Okay. I
Daniel
gotcha.
Hemrick's onboard came out today. They go across, it shows both of them wrecking each other coming to checkers. They go through the checkers. Hemrick's on his cool down. Chase goes flying by him, drives up to Suarez, doors him, and then I think they were going into 1 or 2. I don't know what corner it was. And Chase like brake checks him. Suarez's window net's already down. Like same, not as egregious as Bubba's, but still playing fiddle fuck when belts are probably undone and all
Yeah.
that shit. So I don't know. We'll see what happens
Yeah.
on any of these. But
Yeah, I'm on the Bubba thing. Like, I think all of us are Bubba fans. I would say
I am.
we all
Yeah.
like the guy.
Yeah.
I think he's great.
I just think his timing
is-
with this type of stuff is so bad every time.
it is. Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's answer some questions here.
chat. Now's your chance to throw some questions in, although we have a fuck ton of Instagram questions apparently from like 2 people.
Yeah, guys, I'm going to put a PSA out here. 21 questions from 2 people. You know who you are. Combined, that's too much.
You're
Yeah,
about to find
little
out
much.
who they are.
Little much.
Yeah. All right. It's Mr. DJ 23. What was the best part of the race last night?
The finish.
The winner.
Yeah, the winner. We're all big Bowman people.
I was,
so.
dude, when Reddick hit the wall, I cheered loud.
I
like
was
Reddick,
audible.
and I was not excited for Reddick's post-race interview because, I mean, dude, 2 weeks in a row, top 3 finish, gets out of the car like somebody just shot his puppy in front of him.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you got your win. You had to push to 110% on those final 2 laps, and you made a mistake. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you shooting? You're like killing yourself.
He was
for
just
this.
as upset as he was last week. Yeah.
And Corey and Skip pointed out very smartly on Stacking Pennies. It's like the track is drying out at this point, so you no longer have to put as much wheel into each corner as you did before because you got more grip. Before you had more slip.
Yeah.
And you turn it 45 degrees because the car would push for 4 extra feet because it's wet.
Yeah.
Now you turn it 45 degrees and the car grips and hits the wall. It's like, dude, you can't be that mad when you have to push it as hard as you were to gain 2+ seconds a lap. You can't get out of the car that upset. You got to be out of the car and you got to get out of the car and be like, I was pushing it as hard as I could and I just clipped the wall. Like he's just way too down on himself.
Ronan H21. 2 days, boys. Can't wait, brother. What do you want? Squashies? Mars bars?
Oh, dude, bro, hook it up with a Mars bar. I will
Bring them both.
I will
Yes.
fellate you in the camper if you bring me a Mars bar.
Please.
I won't, but Dan will for me.
Jet Daily. Bubba. Comment. Blaming with the top 10 out of nowhere. Thank you, attrition. Nice.
Yeah, true.
All right. VW Hathaway 13. Did anyone else think the net was Bubba's arm when he doored that car? Oh, yeah, because when he hit him, the door net flung.
I
Yeah.
think he had his hand up too. I think there was a little sleeve in there.
When he
but his
when he
hand wasn't out
smacked
the window.
the net flung up when he doored Bowman. I did see that too, and I had a double take on that too. So I agree with you. Sam Valley 95 with a handful. Oh, how would you feel if NASCAR moved the all-state race to midsummer?
All-star, probably. Probably means all-star. I mean, I wouldn't hate it. That's got big baseball vibes. But I like it. It's always been before the 600.
Yeah, I like it the way it is.
Which made more sense because when it was at Charlotte, like that was the cool 2 weeks where you go for vacation and visit all the race shops. But I guess North Wilkesboro is still pretty damn close. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I like it where it is.
All right. Any good fire suits from this year that stick out? Yeah, SVG's Wendy's one.
The United
I
Rentals.
love what they're doing with the Wendy's ones with the smocks on them.
The United
Did you
Rentals
guys
ones
see
are
the-
great.
So good.
The United Rental ones. Did you see that video they posted? Trackhouse posted of the Wendy's spicy nugs.
No.
No,
They
I
did
don't
a
think so.
Trackhouse. It was an Office spoof with SVG and a bunch of the guys from Trackhouse. It was wicked funny. You should find that on the Twitter.
Hunt it down. Send me a link. All right. How many more years can you see them doing this Chicago street race?
Well,
One.
next year's the last one. I mean, next year's when the contract ends up. So we got one more. But I mean, if it keeps being as successful as it is, hearing and reading all the stuff I did this weekend and hearing some of the few podcasts I've listened to from people that were there. Like, I guess at one of the concerts, they were like, "Oh, whose is this first NASCAR race?" And like 80% of the crowd raised
Yeah.
their hands. Like,
As long as it continues to be a success, they will continue
And-
doing it. It's just a matter of if NASCAR wants to continue doing it or do it somewhere else. And
Yeah.
it also is going to depend on the city themselves not trying
The
to
city-
squeeze more money out of NASCAR because they already squeezed an additional
yeah.
$2 million this
the
year.
city seemed way more welcoming this year. By the city, I mean the people in charge. You see the mayor on.
Did you see he fell for the driving experience email?
Yeah, he bought
the
the
suit.
driving experience suit. But like everyone seemed a little more receptive. But I look at this now. Granted, last year the weather was crap, but look at the attendance drop the first 2 years of the Clash.
Right.
That place was jam packed the first year. The second year we were like, "Ooh, what happened?"
Right.
This year Chicago looked just as packed as last year, and everybody's talking about how there's a lot of the media. Now, maybe media members aren't the right people, but I did see a lot of tweets from fans that were there last year and this year. And the one common thing I heard a lot of was it had a big race feel. Like when we went to the 500, it feels different than when we go to Loudon because
Right.
it's a big race. It's a not to say a crown jewel because it's only its second year, but it had a crown jewel feel to it from the people that were there. So if they can keep that momentum up and the crowds keep coming, and I mean, it puts on a damn good race. The shots, the views are incredible. That one shot, we all said it, I think, 6 times in Discord this week, of them coming up over that bridge with the fucking train behind him and just cars going about their normal business. Like, it's the coolest shot in NASCAR, you know?
They also, after they saw the economic impact and what it did to the city, I'm sure they were much more receptive.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Last year, that was basically a rain out, still had $100 million impact to the city of Chicago.
I'm sure this year might even be bigger because...
Oh, 100% will
yeah.
be.
I mean, even Denny said it on his show because they kind of had the same conversation, and he was like, you know, what did all the drivers do on Saturday night when we had nothing to do after some of us went to the concert, but a lot of us went out and shopped and had dinner, and all the fans went out and shopped, and you're in the city. So what are you going to do? You're going to go walk around, have dinner, hit up some stores. Like, the economic impact on that alone is probably insane.
Yeah. Should they bring the trucks to the street course? Absolutely not.
That'd be a 10-hour race.
I think the 2 series.
I think truck.
That's perfect.
They can't be trusted.
I think truck.
They
getting
also
to go,
they can't do a third day, so they would have to
Yeah.
fit more in Saturday.
Yeah, I think trucks getting to do North Wilkes-Barre and Xfinity getting to do Chicago is a good little trade-off there. Although I'd still love to see Xfinity at North Wilkes-Barre.
I mean, the Xfinity Series just has so many good road racers in
They
it
do.
now that it puts on a good show.
Yeah.
Will you guys have garage passes for Pocono? Yep, we will have
Yep.
our essential badges for media and garage access.
Excited.
And happy late birthday. Keep up the good work to me.
Yay.
Thanks. G60 Tim, hot take. Maybe Bubba should be in the top 10 before pretending to be a hot shot. Stay cool out there. Yeah, cooler heads typically prevail.
Yep.
And he was in the top 10.
He was.
running in the top 10 quite well. I'll give him credit there.
I mean, it also you got to think of how much this stings Bubba in the points.
Well,
Bowman was the guy on the cut line, wins. That cuts even a little deeper for Bubba because that's one less position he can now get in the playoffs.
Right.
So like there's a bunch of frustration behind that, but it's just, in my opinion, that's kind of a low move after 2.5+ hours after the incident, and you rebounded and had a decent day.
Blocka, love you. We're not playing the 16 winter game. Not doing it.
Getting there.
Nope.
There's a chance, but there's only
It's a
I'd say-
small chance.
I'd say there's 2 wild card races left.
We don't even know what Indy's going to be like.
Right,
That
that's
could be.
Indy and Daytona.
Indy and Daytona are pretty much your 2. Who knows?
Nathan Danforth with a fuck, Mary kill.
Oh,
Fajitas,
fajitas,
quesadillas,
quesadillas.
or hard shell tacos.
Marrying hard-shell tacos, fucking Dillas, killing fajitas.
I'm just marrying Dillas.
What was that, Norm? Say that again.
Marrying tacos, fucking quesadillas, and killing fajitas.
Yeah, I'm marrying you on that answer.
Fajitas are great, but I'm getting a burrito every time I get Mexican, but tacos and quesadillas,
Hard shell tacos just they hit different.
you gotta.
Good crunch
You
to
just-
them.
You just gotta, you know what I mean?
Yep. Brett Mickelson 74. It's nice
Whoa.
of Bowman to finally show up,
Welcome back, Brett.
That's a name I haven't seen in a long
and
time.
nice of you to show up too, my friend.
Yes.
L98 Jake with a couple. Is it just me, or does AM Racing's statement sound like we have to say something?
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to say something. Your driver leaves, you have to put out a statement.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna skip around. We got a whole bunch more here. Downriver Diecast. How far is it to Pocono for y'all?
I think
And when
About
we
5.5.
as the directions say, it's like 5.5, 6. With how slow I'm going to have to go in the camper, it's usually 6.5, 7, give or
Me and
take.
Kyle, we're going to get down there in probably 4 hours.
Yeah, you guys are going to be hoofing it
We're
behind
going to
me.
be able to sin because we're alone.
Yeah, you guys can't sin when you're behind me.
Yep.
We do sin when we're together, as well as
But
alone.
only in the eyes of the Lord.
That hybrid's going to be cooking on the way
Yeah,
down.
the 3 boys will be boogieing.
Yeah, as long as you guys, so you're going to probably be leaving at 3:30, 4.
I would guess. I don't know how long a tasting goes, but I would imagine
Hour
clear
and a
out of
half,
there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
so that's
clear
why
out
I'm
of
giving
there
you
3:30.
that's why I'm giving you 3:30, 4. So that puts you down there probably
9.
9, 10 o'clock, give or take.
I mean, perfect.
Me and Ronan might just ditch your ass, dude.
That's fine.
Just take the
down,
truck and leave.
Take my truck and dip.
It's probably safer to have him
I'll get the
not
PJ
driving.
out. You know.
It's probably safer to have him not driving it.
Oh yeah, am I allowed to drive my own truck?
Yeah, I'm not fucking driving your truck, dude. I'm passenger princess on the way down.
Finally.
You sure you want to be that fast? Just don't go on the pike. Oh, you're gonna have to go on the pike.
he's gonna have to.
Are you gonna just salute when you guys go by the
This
mile
truck
marker?
has so many airbags,
Oh, you
dude.
pike. I thought you said pipe.
No, I said pike. You're gonna salute when you go by the mile marker. We made
Oh,
it.
there's your wheel.
It's a tree going through it.
Alrighty. Do you have something you wear every race day at the track?
I alternate shirts.
Yes, I do.
If it's sunny, I have my NASCAR sun hat.
My
Yeah,
But I didn't
Jimmy
even wear it
John's
for
shirt.
Loudon.
Yeah, you go for the Jimmy John's shirt.
I have a Harvick Jimmy John's shirt from 2017, 18, something like that.
Yeah.
That I long since cut the sleeves off, and it's been my ritual ever since.
I alternate. I started this year. I did Coda and Daytona with my Jeff Gordon, the Rainbow Warrior throwback shirt, and Byron.
Classic.
And Byron won both of those, so that shirt has been retired from race day activity because I wanted to see somebody else win.
You have a Jimmy Johnson throwback shirt you could wear, or
I don't, unfortunately.
He's got some good
What
ones.
the hell did I wear to Loudon this year? Oh, I had the new Larson shirt on at Loudon. That's what I wore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great shirt.
That's a great shirt.
That's a really good shirt.
But
I can't wait to fire up the 3 new shirts I got in New Hampshire.
I've already been firing them up.
At Daytona and Coda. We're like, good, we got all our purchasing power up.
I told
I
them-
came home from New Hampshire with 3 new shirts.
yes, I said that to Steph
And a hat.
I was going to Coda. I was like, look at all the stuff we bought in Daytona. I'm not buying anything. Comes home with a seat cushion and a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
A fucking $60 Hendrick sweatshirt. And then said the same thing. I'm like, I'm all set. We go to Loudon. Fucking SVG back-to-back shirt. Larson throwback merch. I'm like,
Now you're gonna need to buy the SVG back-to-back-to-back
I'm like,
shirt.
son of a bitch.
Yeah, I got the Hellman's Junior shirt, which
Yep.
is sick. Big shout, Dan.
Not me.
Got the SVG WeatherTech shirt, sick. Can't wait to take that out of the package.
You got to break in the Gordon shirt.
I finally brought the Gordon shirt.
Do we break in the Gordon shirt at Pocono though? Like Pocono's dirt lot, sweaty, dusty. That shirt's gonna be last.
I'm worried about
5 seconds.
I'm wearing it.
All right, proud
I
of you.
haven't really looked at my Bowman shirt.
I don't wear a
just kinda-
shirt.
I just kind of washed.
Yeah, you're
it
not gonna wear a
through it.
shirt at all.
The white one I wore to Loudon. I don't know how destroyed that.
Yeah,
thing
who are we
is.
talking about? You're not even gonna wear a shirt.
When we go somewhere, I'm going to put it on.
Yes.
Right, but Luce's fast shirts.
Yeah, when we go in the garage, we're wearing our own merch.
No, like if we're going out.
Yeah, so I can
track.
so I can Superman to Corey again.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
guy, dude.
what
Yeah.
flags
They
we
cut his mullet
flying
and he
at the
wrecked it in 3
campsite?
weeks.
What?
What flags we flying?
Luce's
I'll have our
fast.
flag up.
Do you want to run a Brad flag, or do you want to run a?
I only
Kellogg's
have enough
flag?
room for 2 on the pole, and I thought we were going to
So
go
America
old,
and Luce's
Old Glory
Fast?
and Luce's Fast like I did at Loud.
Yeah, and then we'll hang some from
Yeah, we got
the
awnings.
easy ups and
Easy
stuff.
ups and shit.
I'm gonna bring the American flag NASCAR one. We could just fly that instead of Old Glory.
Oh, that could work.
I feel like
Yeah, we got to put Old
you
Glory
need-
up top.
You need
Yeah.
to run a traditional American flag.
Yeah, we got to go Old Glory up top, Luce's Fast underneath it, and then we'll hang the American flag NASCAR one.
We'll do it on the easy ups.
I got the Harvick 29. I have the Noah 42 if we want it. I don't.
That's a year we don't like to remember.
No, I
You got
don't.
the Corey one, right?
Got the Corey one.
I have the Brad
have-
one.
Yeah, we got a bunch, so we're gonna put a
Brad's
lot
one,
of
you
them.
have one too?
Yeah, I have one. We all bought one for some
All right,
reason.
word.
Um,
Because
and
mine's
then-
stuck to my wall. I don't want to take it.
And then we're gonna. I have mine. Don't worry. But mine's still new in the packaging. I don't know if I want to take it out.
Yeah, because I think we used mine last
Because I didn't get mine yet.
Yeah.
we are not putting our 2 beloveds, New Hampshire Motor Speedway and Pocono, against each other in the next question, so we're skipping that one.
We've
how
we've
dare you.
compared them, but I will never
Nope.
rank them against
Nope,
each other.
we will not do that. We love them both. What is your dream camping trip?
It's coming this weekend. Every year, I get to live my dream.
Yeah, really.
No,
Pocono is kind of sad.
Talladega Boulevard. It's still Talladega, and I've also heard Michigan's fucking insane.
Yeah, Michigan. But goddamn, dude, Chicago. Just that Saturday night, I kind of want to experience that. That's not a camping trip.
Oh yeah, I want to go.
that has
just-
got to. That's that concert.
Yeah.
just is up there.
But dream. I mean, for NASCAR, yeah, it's Talladega. Infield at Daytona would be sick. Although infield at Daytona for the summer race would be like the night race.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be dope. But yeah, that's like I said, my dream trip is pretty much Pocono because it is. I mean, we get to live it every year. I look forward to this weekend. Like Loudon is fun, but you guys aren't there the whole time usually, and it's kind of like in and out, and we're not in the track. Pocono, we're all there the whole time in the track. With
Dawn
our
to
whole-
dusk.
with our whole
4 days.
with our whole fucking group for 4 days. It's just the best.
Yeah. Pepper cuts grass.
Pepper.
I give you a NASCAR motor from 02. What car are you putting it in? Back in the car that it came out of. Then putting some headlights on it.
Third gen
80s
or
Monte Carlo.
86 Monte Carlo SS.
Yeah, 80s Monte Carlo SS. Or, yes,
Aero Coupe.
into a Gen 4. No, I wouldn't ruin an Aero Coupe. I'm actually more of a fan of non.
I don't think that would downgrade it.
I am actually more of a fan of non-aero coupes. I'll say it. I like the regular the short back windows.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to early Ford pickup.
I mean, as we've said many times, just give me a Gen 4 that I can put lights on and drive around.
I mean, I'm big into like the rat rod thing right now, where they put like the old 15-inch Aero Steelies and Goodyears on them. I love that, but it's just, dude, 80s Monte Carlos just touch me so well.
Yep.
All right.
I didn't know Kyle changed his name to 80s Monte Carlo.
Yeah, he just touched me. It's not good.
We're going to go live from the campsite this weekend. We're going to try to. I don't know if I really feel like hauling all the stuff down.
Well, no,
We're
but
going to say we are. We're probably not going to.
There's talks now that we apparently just hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. We can now, I think we could before, but we thought it was 100, but I guess it wasn't. We can now go live on a mobile device. So keep your ears and eyes peeled to the YouTube notifications, because if you see it pop up at 1 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning,
It gonna be good.
you might want to join that stream.
Yep. That might be what gets us canceled.
Could be spicy.
Anything you're looking for from the merch haulers? We just talked about it.
I don't
No,
know.
but we'll come home with something, as we always do.
I'm going to say no, and then we walk over there on Saturday during a rain delay after I've had 10 Budweisers, and I'm going to come home with a sun hat and another hat that I've never even worn.
I'm going to leave my hat, so I force myself to buy the NASCAR sun hat.
Yeah, I could use
Yeah.
more snapbacks.
And last but not least, we'll go with the Downriver Diecast question. What kind of food are we rocking this weekend, and who's the cook?
So before Norm got here, we had a conference call with my wife about the food selections this weekend. You said you're doing the stir fry one night, probably.
Yep, I'll probably do that again. That was requested again.
We
so.
may shift Mexican night.
Was that you liked it?
Yeah, I love that.
What did I make it? Was it chicken or was it beef
It
in
was
it?
chicken, I think.
It was chicken. You
I
had
do
the egg, you
chicken.
had the egg noodles.
Yeah, I did chicken in
Yeah,
it. Really?
You filled that whole Blackstone.
That my
I wanna say it
Blackstone
chicken.
was fucking
Okay.
overloaded. It was
Yeah,
great.
I went a little over the top.
We are talking about rotating Mexican night away from Sunday night, because every year the Cohan and the Pennsylvania boys, they're all gone by the time the food's done, and Steph's like, fuck, I made all this food and everybody's gone.
It's also Mexican night earlier would mean leftover queso throughout
Facts.
the weekend.
So I think we're going to rotate Mexican night to an earlier night, not Sunday night. There's talk of the taco smash burgers like you and Steph have talked about.
that.
So we're
Yeah,
probably
I
I'd
going to
also
that.
do like just walk-in tacos would be a good night too.
We're going to, we'll
Yeah.
figure some shit
Well, I
out.
got the 100 and something bags of chips, so that we could definitely do that.
Yeah.
But when we do taco night, you can just make a walking taco.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Honestly, we kept it pretty simple and good last year.
That's
I mean,
what
the
we're-
stir fry I think was like the craziest we did,
I
and it seemed like you handled that
Yeah,
pretty well.
I think
Thanks.
that's the plan. Is we're gonna have some good food, but we're trying to keep it simple. I've already had to rein Steph in a few times. She's like, I want to do
Yeah.
this. Yeah, she talked about bringing a crock pot. I was like, no, stop, just stop.
I thought about it. I was going to make my chili, but I was like,
It's
no.
too much.
And by
It's
my,
too
I mean
much.
my fiance's recipe.
And then we'll end up probably with the usual burgers and dogs for snacks and lunch.
my
and
brain
shit.
Breakfast
just-
sandwiches in the
breakfast
morning.
My
Sammy's.
brain just goes to like anything Mexican, like quesadillas on the Blackstone would be good. Like
Yeah,
Anything. I'll make
tacos,
anything you
the
want.
Smash burger tacos sound delicious.
Yeah, I do the Smash Burger Big Mac tacos.
About it. Yep.
So I make a fake mac sauce. Obviously, do smash the burger, char the tortilla, toss it on there, fold her in half, throw some lettuce on it. There you go. Off you go.
Do you want me to join you guys at Hannaford's one night this week?
we were maybe we'll talk after.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to answer the question, most of the time on the Blackstone,
Yeah,
I'm doing the chefing.
All Kyle has to hear is the word grill or hungry, and he's already fucking spraying the Blackstone off. and
He's
heating it
cracking
up.
a fresh bush and he's standing up at the Blackstone.
Yep.
Yeah. All you need to do is hand me the stuff and say, "Hey, I need this made." I'm like, "All right, I got you."
Yep. And Kyle doesn't eat all weekend. That's the funny part.
Yeah, I'm too busy cooking and making sure everybody has their food,
We have
and
to
then I have
remind
to
him to
clean
eat.
up, and then I forget to eat.
Yeah, we have to remind him to eat. So we had a couple. You're done on Instagram?
Yeah.
Had a couple.
Yep.
Couple popped in on YouTube. We had some congratulations on finally hitting 100 subs. So we're getting there slowly.
Dad, Taylor Pearson, camping with Dad in Virginia. We've never been camping.
Yeah.
You've never taken me to the campsite. It's fine. I get it. You don't love
WF
me.
Professor, congrats on the 100 subs. Have you guys found a new favorite driver yet this year? I'm still struggling to find one since Kevin's retirement. I
Who
Kyle's
is
just-
this?
WF Professor.
Oh, I'm really enjoying
Free
my
agency.
hookerdom of being a fan of everybody.
Yeah.
I obviously have taken a liking to some other people, even before Kevin's retirement. You know,
Yeah.
we've always rooted for Corey. We like the underdog story, and we just think he's a good dude. And obviously, after we spent some time with him,
He's a really nice
know
dude.
he's a great guy.
He's a really nice guy, but he needs to step his shit up.
Yeah.
He also needs to find better taste in haircuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking a big liking to SVG.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean, there's qualities I like about a lot of people. Like we all like Bowman for just the person he is.
And he's the only NASCAR driver that went to H2O the same time we were there.
Yep, that's accurate. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that I like. I have not married myself to anyone that I'm going to follow to the ends of the earth for another 20 years. I just
really
don't think I
fun like
have that in me.
It's fun like this, isn't it?
And it almost feels like I'm cheating on Kevin, you know?
Yeah.
Like I was a fan for over basically 20 years. I love the sport so much, and with what we do now that we have to talk about so many people, I like to be like, all right, I like this about that guy, and I like this guy at that place, and I like what this person does
don't
off
like
the
that
track,
guy.
and I don't like that guy. And Harrison Burton's still not forgiving you for Phoenix, and I'm glad you got fired. Yeah, I have my vendettas or whatever, but yeah.
Joe Spinelli, how many Jello shots did I be making for everybody? As many as you please.
You know what's really funny? I hated Jell-O. Like my whole life.
alcohol in
I've
it and-
always hated Jell-O. But I
Because
had
your parents got like the zero sugar, zero fun Jello, probably zero taste.
Probably. They got him white
well,
Jello.
we never had Jell-O at home.
They got him white Jello.
Never had Jell-O.
It was
but
like
I
you got,
also
like the Jello. What was that, like the cake? They
oh
do?
yeah, they put it in
yeah.
the cake mold.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like the consistency of it. It was like a texture thing.
There is no
I love
consistency of
Jello.
it.
The texture, like that feeling
That
is
mush.
the best. I love
but
it.
the Jell-O shots is just enough Jell-O that I'm like, this is enjoyable.
Well, and it also, the guys at Loudon, the Jello shot pit crew, they also were perfect because they kept them cold. They were
Yeah.
still, I hate when you get a Jello shot and it's like half liquid and you're
Huge
like, "Ugh."
shouts to my cousin Jay. He made a whole stack of Jell-O shots for our family reunion party we had on Friday down the Cape. Like my dad's side, a whole stack of them come over. It's like 25 of them or so, and they're mostly like the older cousins and stuff. Like I'm the younger by like
Yeah.
a long shot. It's mostly like the 45 plus club, and Jay pulls up with like 30 Jell-O shots, starts tossing them to all the 50-year-old people. He's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah. I remember.
Great time.
I mean, I remember being a kid at Loudon back when you could like smoke in the grandstands and shit. Like,
Yeah.
people be
Still can, dude. Fuck the police.
people be smoking weed behind us and throwing Jello shots to each other. It was the good old days. So yeah, Joe, make as many as your heart desires. None of us care.
Jello shots have always been good.
Yeah. He's going like gourmet, kind of like Steph did that one year from Wolfscart.
Yep.
He said he showed in Discord some of the alcohols they got, and they're going like flavored and weird
Well,
stuff.
Steph
Hell
would
yeah.
come out like a Starbucks barista and be like, what flavor do you want? We got this.
We made-
this.
we made,
I was like, Steph, red. I don't
we
care.
made like, well, no,
I'm just trying to get drunk.
there was a year that her and her sister at Wolfscart went off. They made like cherry Jello with Fireball in it.
Yeah, they had them. It was like changing colors in the Jello shots. Like this is red on white, green and blue.
They have it at Walmart. The Sonic Ocean Water, like the drink that they make there.
What?
It's like a blue raspberry kind of drink. I don't
They
remember
call it ocean
it's
water?
called ocean
Is
water.
it salty?
No, but it's called ocean water. But
Want it to be?
They have a Jello. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
So it was ocean water with Malibu. They were unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
No, tequila
Hell yeah.
Jello shots.
Dan is doing tequila shots.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Tequila Jello shots do not work. We tried to make margarita ones that same year at Wolfscart. Those were the ones that we gave to people we didn't like. Or
Hey, I had a bunch of those.
or
Wait a minute.
or that would be the like surprise. Like people would come like, oh, here I have a Jello shot. And they'd be like, wow, that's terrible. We're like, here's the good ones. So yeah, Clint Will. Why is there no ARCA race at Pocono this weekend? I don't know, and I'm mad.
Oh,
because-
no?
Yeah, no, they were
No
off-
pancakes
off-
and ARCA breaks?
They were off the schedule this
God
year. So
damn
we
it.
Unfortunately, no ARCA break or ARCA race, but fortunately, no ARCA race. It kind of
But pancakes and ARCA breaks is
That
the
was-
best thing in
that
the
was-
world.
sucks,
No, that
but
was
it's-
special last year because they got delayed from Friday night
To like
Saturday
8:30 in the morning.
8:30 in the
Well,
morning, Saturday morning.
I always liked ARCA practice because everyone would just like blow up out of turn one.
yeah.
And it was just like, oh, yep, and the 46 is dead. On
Well,
the
I
front
miss it
stretch,
because
back stretch.
ARCA practice in the race was always like we'd get there it was like Friday morning. It was like the opening of the weekend. We're like, hell yeah, there's race cars on the track. And then
Yeah,
you
I just
watch
like the noise in the background.
Yeah. And then the ARCA race was always, we always joked it was the golden hour ARCA race because they started at like 6:30 on Friday night.
Yeah, so we're getting there Thursday night.
There's nothing.
give or take. There's
Truck-
nothing for almost 20 hours.
I'd have to look at it. Truck practice and qualifying is on Friday.
So I guess Friday morning we should just get all our shopping done, go hit the
Oh, that's what we're gonna
Midway, and
Go
it's going to be the exact same stuff that we always see.
Go
'cause-
Let's go
Boat.
find a Waffle
Should we
House,
go lose
dude.
Bodie again?
oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we can bring Cohan, dude. He'll
Yeah.
never shut up about it.
What else do we got? Mr. DJ, will we hit 1,000 subs before topics? If we blow up and act like we don't know nobody, we will.
Nah.
Joe
Yes, but not fast.
Joe Spinelli, FMK, rain delays, air blocking, 50% throttles on speedway, super speedways.
Did he post that on the Twitter or the
He posted it here and Discord. So kill them all.
Yeah, I didn't want to answer that because I hate everything about it.
Yeah, we're doing that. It's like 45 minutes.
Yeah, man, we'll play it by ear. We'll see how the day goes.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Mr. Electric Triangle, I'm full in on SVG. I've decided to become his fan. First main rep since Gordon, to be honest.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I might not be too far behind.
WF Professor, if the Jello shots and weed stories from Loudon are from turn one about halfway up in the stands, that may or may not have been my family and friends.
Hell yeah.
Honestly, it was turn one about halfway up. So
Hell yeah.
What's up? But yeah, that's about it for the live chatto.
All right.
Yeah, WF Professor asked what was worse, Bubba and Bowman or Chase and Suarez.
I think the Bubba
I would
Bowman
just
one
say Bubba Bowman because it's the guy celebrating the win.
Yeah.
Usually that guy is way more relaxed than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, their hands out the window. They're waving to
You
people.
almost
They're
feel like
doing
Suarez had to
burnouts.
feel something was coming because he
Right.
just dumped Chase two
But
corners
Chase,
ago.
I haven't seen the replay of that.
I'll
I don't
show it
know.
to you.
I don't know how far Chase had to drive to get to
Pretty
him.
far.
If it was half a lap before he caught him, then it's equal.
Yeah, pretty far.
Because,
So,
like I said, if it's right after the line, yeah, you're still strapped in. You're still in race mode. If you start beating, neither of you guys are window nets down.
put it this way,
Hans is
it
off,
was far
whatever.
enough that Suarez's window net was already down.
Yeah, then they should be treated the same.
Yep.
And that's all we got.
Boys, we are in for a weekend.
We are, coming up on, I would say, our favorite weekend of the year.
Don't get me wrong, I love Loudon. I look forward to Loudon so much.
It's different, like you just said.
It's different. There's something special about Pocono, and I can't describe it. I think it's because we're in the infield.
Yeah, we're
I don't know.
inside the track for 4 days with
Yeah.
our buddies.
I
eating
left
shitty food, drinking shitty bear, and
I left the
not
tunnel.
going anywhere.
I gotta find beer.
We got there Thursday. We went in the tunnel. The only other time I left that tunnel the rest of the weekend was when we went to get our credentials and go visit the merch tents.
Yeah, we got to
Aside
hit
from
gypsy
that-
tents early.
Aside from that, I never left the infield last year. My truck didn't move. We got there Thursday. I parked my truck. We rode in your truck to go get our credentials and check the tents out. My truck didn't move again until Monday morning when I hooked the camper back up. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to live in that bubble of the 2.5 mile triangle or 2 mile triangle all weekend, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like you
Leave
said,
when we need to or want to go shop the gypsy tents, and that's it.
yeah, like we're gonna hang out. Sure, the Pennsylvania guys will probably have dirt racing on. We'll sit there and
Hell
watch
yeah.
that. We'll sit. I'm sure.
I hope
Days-
one of them makes corn again. That
I'm
was like the
sure
highlight.
Days of Thunder is going to get played at some point.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
I think it's been 3 years running that we've all like half passed out watching Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
on
get back
Fri-
from like M80 at 3 in the morning, and we're like, so cold turtle?
Yeah, somebody
All right,
puts
we're all gonna
Days of
fall
Thunder
asleep.
on. They all bring couches and shit, and all of a sudden you look around and half of us are passed out on the couches and halfway through Days of Thunder because we all
I mean,
been.
we've gone enough times now that I'm okay if we leave the track for a couple hours to go visit Bodie's favorite toilet.
True.
Or we go and we're like, all right, let's go to Wawa, or let's
Yeah.
go this restaurant. That's
Wawa's
only
always the
down
way home.
here.
I'm also working on a new scenic photo collage for the bathroom of Bodie pooping on racetracks in black and white.
How many do you have?
3.
Nice.
What else do you have?
I got 2 at Thompson and
Oh, okay. And
2
then
different ones at Thompson and one at
Yeah.
that
The other
place that I don't know anything about.
That other triangular track
Weird.
in Pennsylvania.
I don't know.
Yeah, I look
Looking
forward to
forward
this.
to
Like the ride sucks. I'm not looking forward to the ride, especially since I won't have my chase vehicle this year, just in case something goes wrong. But we'll figure it out. We'll be
We
fine.
won't be that far behind.
catch
you.
You'll
up
be pretty far
eventually.
behind.
Only
What time you leaving?
We're leaving
4
early.
hours
I want to
behind.
leave early. Like we're gonna try to be out of the. I mean, when we left.
Well, last time you said early, it was 11.
better than the first year. When we leave the first year, like 4:00, we got there
Oh,
at
yeah.
midnight.
Oh my god.
Setting up in the dark, and then the next year I was all excited to leave early and not set up in the dark, and then somebody had to go
Almost die.
almost die.
No.
Selfish.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Very
Fuck
selfish.
me, right?
Last year was
Not
perfect.
after that.
Last year was great. We got there in the afternoon.
Tried to. Look what happened.
We got to set up in the daylight and hang out. It was great. So I haven't talked to Steph yet, but we're going to be shooting down probably somewhere in the 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock range in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Depends on how set up this week goes. But
Hey, bud, I wish you luck.
honestly, we don't have a lot of setup. The camper's still pretty much good from Loudon. So it's just do laundry and pack our shit. Yeah, pack the food in it, pack the clothes in it, hook it up, and off we go.
Yeah.
You know?
By the time we get there, you may have already almost found a level spot.
Probably not. The thing is, last year it fucked us up because we tried to do it different. I know this year, just put it in the spot with the rock. It'll work. Like, that's where we had it last year. That's where we had it 2 years ago. We tried to be cute about it last year and do something different, and it was not happening. So
Yeah.
I think the same setup we had last year is going to be the
Worked out
move.
well.
Yeah, I think that's got. Although Nick's not bringing the van this year, so
Yep.
What?
he doesn't want to. He's bringing his Tacoma, but everybody else that goes is bullying him. So they were talking about one of them trying to take it. I don't know.
Yeah, but standing on the van was great.
Yeah, that's
I know that's
necessary.
what they're all complaining about in the group chat. Is they're like, it's been weeks of like, so Nick, you bringing the van? So Nick, when's the van coming?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, not
I
bringing
get
it.
it. I wouldn't want to sleep in that van.
Yeah,
But it's kind of like there's nowhere else to stand. They can't stand on Ace's trailer.
nope. And I'm a little worried because my roof has a little bit of a bow in it from last year. We have to be very careful this year.
I'm always careful.
No,
person
it's just
max.
well, that was the first year that we went up there, and I think right when you get off the ladder, that area doesn't have a shit ton of bracing. You can see that it kind of bowed a little bit. So as long as you stay around the edges, we'll be all right. But
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
You'll be upgraded.
That's
that
why I had
camper
the
in a couple
biggest
years.
burn
No,
on the
we
back
won't.
of my legs because I was sitting on the edge.
yeah, well, me and you ended up sitting on the edge with our feet on the slide out, and that was fucking killer.
Oh, that was the best.
that was killer, and that's where I'm.
We
Sitting.
found that out like halfway through the weekend. I was like, hey,
Why don't we just do this?
sit right here.
Yeah,
It was wonderful.
yeah.
And then we both had boiled
my
calves.
fucking legs were smoked.
Yeah, because the sun was reflecting off the side of the camper, burning our
I would
skin.
love to do something like the thing I sent you months ago that we just never did. Was the little Harbor Freight utility trailer with a platform built on it. It was like I saw a picture of it from another track. DBC posted it because they had a DBC banner on it,
Yeah.
and it was like a 6x8, one of the small Harbor Freight utility trailers.
Oh,
and they built like a 8 or 9 foot tall porch on it.
That's cool.
Which obviously that'd be something like you put all the equipment in it and then build it when you get there.
yeah,
But we just never really went that
I mean,
route.
one of these days, I'm just going to buy a school bus and build a platform on it. The problem is storing that thing for
Yep.
11 and a half months of the year.
Yep. If only you knew someone with a lot of land.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
This going to be allowed?
I don't give a fuck. She already hates me.
we will.
My mother-in-law already
2
hates
days
me.
after that.
We will catch you next week after our weekend at Pocono.
Sam-
We're going to apologize in advance for our condition, probably on the next episode.
Sam Valley, we are inside. We're right around the exit of turn 1.
Yep.
If out of the last couple of years, there's been a Geico sign directly across from us.
Yep.
They may have changed it. I don't know. But we're right around the exit of turn 1, right on the road course.
Yeah, right where pretty much, if you look at the track, right where all the signage around the corner stops.
Yeah. Yeah, we're pretty much right there. So we made it to TV last year. We saw us during the Austin Dillon helmet throw competition.
Yep. Yeah, a couple times.
Yep,
and
so-
any of like the panning shots from
And then
above were right there.
the PA boys' flags made it when we were watching the Xfinity race. We all lost our shit in the grandstands.
Those are our flags.
Because we're in the grandstands. There's a TV right across from us, and it had the NBC feed on, and no one's at the campsite, but all of our flags are on the TV. We're like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, Junior, I think, commented on the Alan Kawicki flag.
Because it was
Yeah.
a Davey Allison and Alan Kawicki flag, and Junior was like, that's awesome. And we're like,
You're welcome.
come visit.
Yeah.
But so it'll probably be Tuesday next. We'll definitely be Tuesday next week.
Maybe. We got Ronan. If we're gonna try to get him on, it'll be Monday. We'll talk about it after the fact.
I'm not.
Let's sign this off.
I'm not coming here on Monday.
All right.
we would have to stop here on the way home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah, we'll come up with a game plan, but most likely Tuesday.
And yes, like Kyle said, we all apologize for the shape that we'll be in because
Yeah.
I will not have a voice and probably still be hurting.
Follow along on the socials. If you're gonna be there, shoot us a message on any of the socials. We will get to you as soon as we possibly
Yes,
can.
please message
All
us.
of our personal socials are on the show page, so you can
Yep.
always message us privately if you want to find us, but we'll be there. Send us a message.
We'll try
Look
to
out
hook
for
up.
some posts. Share some stuff. Follow us on everything.
At
We love you.
@LucisFast_pod on Twitter and Instagram. We should have, if you join the Discord, if you're not already in it, the @Track Chat will be popping because we got a
Sure
bunch
will.
of us down there. So it's not just us. We've got a whole fucking crew coming down. Like last year, we got Joe Soul, Just Bus, Average Joe. They're all coming. So
Whole squad.
we'll have a whole squad. And you will get to meet Ronan
The
The
Ronan.
from Ireland.
I can't believe he's not on the Discord.
I don't think he's a Discord guy.
He
The
should.
man, the myth, the legend.
I think he is actually. Just he doesn't go on it ever.
Yeah.
Remember,
With his weird international phone.
well, remember too, when we're watching the race at 3:00 in the afternoon, it's like midnight over there.
Yeah, our
So,
times don't quite line up either.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm Kyle Belcher,
I am Dan Walker.
Norm.
and we'll catch you after Pocono.
Godspeed.
Bye, bitch.